Because I went to get some chicken, man. They had me there forever.
It's all good. We live now, so it's all good. We made it. As long as we made
But
it.
man, let me tell you what I was thinking, man. I said, okay, so if we're doing 10 times now, so what is it? What is 10 times now? So we're looking at the way things are going as far as politically. We're
Right.
looking at how important Georgia is and how all these Republicans walking around talking about don't vote, it ain't, the system is corrupt.
Right.
So now it's time that we need to show people that it's only corrupt when we participate.
Right. Right.
And the other thing is we, just like the conversation you had today, is how do we mentor in ways on these live streams to other people besides the people that know us or to younger people.
Right.
So maybe if we listened and we start trying to write, maybe if we listened and just started writing new stuff, started writing in new ways, and just to show that I'm willing to learn some different me, some different me to help you participate with this me.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, like in a nutshell, that's it. Because if we don't have these conversations, man, we stuck in the same place. We stuck in the same exact place. So yeah, people starting to tune in now. So that's good, man. Welcome. Listen, man. I'm Coach Ja. This is my man AJ Houston. If you don't know him, you're getting ready to get to know him. Okay. And we just want to talk about the things that everybody ain't talking about. We want to talk about the things that make a difference, the things that are important to us and to our livelihoods. Because we can argue about the system all day, AJ, but the system ain't going nowhere.
No, but see, the thing is, the system was created against us.
Right.
So my whole thing is, until we understand that this ain't home. When you move into a house, you don't just move in there and it's vacant and you don't do nothing.
Right. You got to do some shit.
Yeah. So America, we've been here and it's like an empty house that we ain't done nothing. We ain't done nothing to make it home. We haven't participated in the process. Schoolhouse Rock told us how to make a bill. We ain't tried to do that shit. We ain't tried to, we register to vote, and sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It's like, okay, no, I think I'm going to a movie tonight. And we don't make it important. So I think 10 times now to me is that everything is more important than we've ever considered importance before.
Yeah.
Yep. What's up? I just went live on my Instagram. I'm actually having a conversation with Coach Ja. We're on StreamYard, on his YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're trying to make this be something different because we hadn't seen anything done like this.
Yeah.
So we're trying to be innovative. We're trying to be not the starters of anything. We're just trying to combine a whole lot of things we hadn't seen, like a new gumbo.
Right. There it is. And it's cold outside now.
Yeah, a new gumbo. Yeah.
It's definitely gumbo season right now.
No, man, but I was thinking that you and I should come together and instead of write a book of poetry that we write, let's listen to some things and write a book of poetry that we hear younger people talking about.
Yeah.
Just to see if we can't change our voice, because a lot of people don't understand how long it took to get this you. Don't know how much pain it took to be able to pen things like you. And I was thinking about that before the show. That's why I sent you the title of the poem I was working on. And the title of the poem was what? Confessions of an Ink Pen in Witness Protection.
In witness protection. Jeez almighty. You know this. So I just finished the Zoom. I had a Zoom I do with the Arts Empowerment Project, and it's about increasing peace in the community. Whereas we have youth who have to work, youth and police officers are working together to create dialogue, and we create artworks. We got murals that have been up, and we go in and we help them write their poems and things like that, centered around having unity in the community. Beautiful idea, amazing people that we're working with. And, I'm listening to some of the work of the young people. And then I'm hearing the conversations that these young people are, number one, fearless. They don't care about nothing. And then they're misguided. But the beautiful thing in them being fearless, if we can plant the right seed in them, right? Then we have the warriors and we have, what we need for that process to happen so we can do those things. And so I think our duty now is to let's create the poems and the art that's going to enhance what they believe in as far as what their future can look like. I think that's our job.
Yeah. And see, and I really think our job is to understand that regardless if we think we teach creative writing classes, but if we're not creating the writing that we're inspiring younger people to write, we have to go back and learn some different processes. And us, we got to be willing to relearn everything we thought we knew.
That's right.
It doesn't change how we do or what we do. It just changes the way that we apply what we do and what we're planning to do, future work.
Yeah. It's like saying, it's like when people say, you know, I'm a page poet, I'm not a performance poet. Well, you're only not a performance poet because you ain't performed yet. I mean, that's the only difference. And I think once we develop the mentality that, you know, this poetry, so people say poetry thing and all that cute stuff, right? But if you have never heard somebody say poetry saved my life, you ain't been to an open mic spot. You don't even got to go to a slam for that. You can go to an open mic spot and somebody will say, listen, this poetry saved my life. And if that is what that is, right? If poetry has the ability to save a life, what lives are we trying to save with what we're writing? And how are we trying to direct these lives that are being affected by what we're writing?
Exactly. It's because if the poem that saved your life, it may not be the same poem that would save somebody else's life. So we have to be willing to listen to other people's struggles.
That's right.
Say, you know, I've probably been through that. So how would I write that? Not the way I would write it, but how would I write it so they could understand what the struggle was?
Yeah. And another thing that I think is one thing that I appreciate about the art that we're sharing now, this life-giving work that we're doing now, is because people are not afraid to say shit now. We're not afraid to say, hey, listen, man, I need some help. Somebody got to walk me through this because, you know, it's 6 people inside this body and I'm not friends with none of them. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that wholeheartedly because a lot of times we are unaware of the power of what we have.
That's right.
So, right. And I think because when we talk about 10 times now, it's like, what is 10 times now? So imagine that now is 10 times the moment. These words are 10 times as loud as they are. These words touch 10 times more people. So everything has that impact of being more than we see it to be.
Right. They're echoing off of 10 more mountains. You didn't even know it was a mountain behind me. There's 10 of them.
Exactly.
But you know, when you gave me that title, and I was like, wow, that's pretty dope. But then when it really resonated, what is 10? And 10 times and tenfold. And when you start going into it like that, man, that's real heavy. And I think a lot of it, again, we don't listen. We We hearing shit, but we ain't listening to nothing.
Ooh. And like I got my Instagram on because I'm not, you know, it's your StreamYard, but I got my Instagram on so they could hear you. Right. So people are tuning in and I think they're saying, what is going on? Folks, listen, this is a new thing we're trying. I'm on Josh's StreamYard. He's on YouTube. We're doing this show called 10 Times Now. And we want to have access to both Instagram accounts to where his friends can follow him and my friends can follow me. You can both follow, you know, Coach Josh Smalls on Instagram. And we can actually build this conversation up because eventually I want to have a conversation with somebody on Instagram that he's listening to my conversation on StreamYard. Right. And he have a conversation with Instagram. I'm listening to that conversation because we have to go beyond the recesses of where we've been. That's right. We have to change up. There's no borders. So imagine, so we say the rules to this conversation we're having are none. Mm-hmm. No, we're not limited to anything. You want to talk about politics, let's. You want to talk about religion, let's. Yeah. You know, thing is you got to come in with an open mind and say, look, we're going to all three of us are going to have a real conversation. A real conversation about some real stuff. My brother that I had on earlier today, is also going to put me in touch with some folks because all of y'all that's listening, I want y'all to listen very carefully. If you don't care for politics and all that, just sit in the background and don't say nothing. We're going to talk about that because we need to understand that this is the real life stuff that we're dealing with. And we got to stop, you know, fooling around. Now, I'm going to be real vocal sometimes because sometimes y'all don't listen. And sometimes it needs to say what it needs to say. And you have to understand that not one of us have all the damn answers. That's number one. And you're never going to get those answers
if you don't get off your butt and try to go find them. You got to.
Now I look at it this way: like people used to tell us, don't talk about politics or religion with your friends. But the most important conversations we can ever have are politics and religion. So if we don't go into the origin of who told us these things not to do and to do, it was probably to safeguard us. See, America played a long game.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that America had plans for us, like Carter G. Woodson said, miseducation of the Negro. We still haven't learned from the book that he wrote on how miseducated we actually are.
That's right. That's right. I love the image of that book cover, number one. You can sit and look at that image of that book cover and you will get lost in your, I mean, the idea that somebody has a chain and a lock on your psyche, not even just the physical aspect, right? Because they was able to get the physical first, but it took a long time before they made them Africans into slaves, and even longer before they turned them into niggas. And that's why it took so long for that process to develop.
But see, when you look at how I believe people don't understand that this ship came from one region where the people spoke the same language. So when they made it to the shore, they separated everybody off of that ship. Another ship came in, they put them with other people from a different region that didn't speak the same language, because the object is when they take you to the plantation, they don't want you to be able to speak to anybody. You're going to learn the words that master wants you to learn.
That's right. You're
going to learn the language that master wants to teach you. That's why it was so easy to teach Turn the Other Cheek and some Bible verses, because that's what they thought the Bible was about. It's master and slave.
Yeah.
So we don't know who told us the things that we think we know.
Yeah.
So until we're willing to delve into ourselves and understand that all the things that we think we know, we need to redress them and find the origin of those thoughts, because we are living more tradition than truth.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm in the conversation with some really, really good folks, some connected folks, some political folks, right? And one of them, I've become friends with one of the gentlemen in there, good friends with him. Talk to the brother all the time. He called and check on me, this and that. He said, we were in the meeting, we were talking about white fragility at the time. Oh my gosh, I got to read that book. I got to read that book. I'm encouraging folks to read that book about white fragility. And he was saying that when he was younger, he's a white man. He said when he was younger, they used to see people and they see black athletes and they'll say things like, oh, well, you know, he's only good because he's got the baby in him, and you know, he come from a broken home and they just doing this extra stuff for him, and they wouldn't do that if he didn't have this, that, and the other thing. And then the question was not why do you think that way, but who taught you that? Who said that that was what it was? And he froze because he didn't even remember where he learned that. And I thought that was very, very, very significant to the conversation, because we don't even know why we believe the shit we believe. He couldn't even pinpoint who told him that to believe. And now here he is calling the black man that he met years ago. That's very, I'm militant like hell. I'm always going to be that. But he got to call me and we have conversations all the time. In fact, when he was driving to go see his family states away, he and I was having a conversation on the phone while he was driving. Something he probably never would have imagined, neither would his parents or his great parents or his great grandparents. They probably couldn't imagine that either.
Man, and in Fort Worth, right? In Fort Worth, there was this old lady pulled up like 2 pumps away from me. A very older white lady. She was probably about, I think she told me at the time she was like 91, but she was still driving and she did a lot of things. So she was by herself and she was trying to open a gas tank. So I said, excuse me, I said, you need some help. And first she was looking at me, you know, my locks were longer than this. She was looking like, you know, and I said, well, I just want to help you. I say, well, if it's not in the glove box, it's right on the floor of the model car that she had.
Okay.
So I popped the gas tank, opened it up. I said, how much gas are you getting? She said, well, I got to go in and pay. I said, well, I can go in and pay for you. And she was looking like I've never had this conversation with a black man that looked like he's, you know, from the jungle or somewhere. Basically, that's how she looked at me.
Right.
So I went and paid, pumped her gas. Next time I saw her was in Walmart. So I'm in Walmart in line. She walked up behind me and gave me a hug from the back. And you know, and people was looking at me like I was strange. And then when she gave me a hug from the back, I turned around and said, hey, and gave her a hug and we're talking. and they were looking like, you know, he must be a mild one. It was, but it was just the fact that you could see people's shoulders lessen a little bit. They were intense once they saw us talking. It was like, oh, you know, he's that easy to get along with. Maybe it's okay. But it's, you don't know how people accept you once they listen to what you're about. Because I always tell people, I say, well, it took me a long time to design this person that you're talking to. I think you prefer this one than any of the other ones that I've been up until now.
You know how they say in relationships, you get a representative before you get to know the person?
Yeah.
I strongly suggest you deal with the representative, because you might not know what's coming after you start moving me in some way.
Yeah. But I got more people in. Check it out, Bitch Theater, Porch Playground, Porch by Jario, Ernest. We have a new show called 10 Times Now. 10 Times Now is that we believe that every moment in 2020 is 10 times more important than we believe it to be.
Yeah.
So Coach John and I have this show. He's StreamYard. If you want to check out the two of us, you can go to Coach John. What's that? Josh Smalls on YouTube.
Coach Josh Smalls.
Coach Josh Smalls on YouTube. So that's his YouTube channel. But he's also Coach Josh Smalls in Instagram. So you can follow him or follow me. And we're going to begin to add people to this conversation. But right now, we're trying to fill it out and see how it works this way, because we've never seen anybody do a show like this.
Yeah, yeah. And we want to talk about everyday stuff. Like and so the idea for those that's watching, right? The idea is, let's have the conversations that we're scared to have. Don't worry about it. Put it in the box, and I'll ask the damn questions. I ain't got no fear of that. I don't have no problem with that. But the thing is, if we don't start having these conversations now, we're gonna be in trouble. One thing that I want to state that I'm glad that you talked about to me too, AJ. When you told me this, it really resonated with me. You said, why don't we have schools to teach us how to be governors, senators, and all these other positions? Why we don't have schools that teach us how to do that, right? And if our parents, as Black folks, if from my understanding, if your parents weren't in law, you don't never become a politician, because you don't know shit about law.
We don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. And the thing about it, you need to worry about it with all of your mind. Like, you need to, because you live under this umbrella, under this system.
Wait, what you say, with all of your mind?
All of your mind.
You need to worry about it with all of your mind. I agree, because my thing is, I was in Fort Worth. I lived in Fort Worth, so I was invited to do this breakfast after one of the elections, because it was the first female district attorney in the city of Fort Worth's history, and it was a white lady. But when I remembered voting, she was unopposed, so she was going to be district attorney whether they voted for her or not. She was unopposed, so it bothered me that we have all these positions unopposed, and we don't understand that if her and her husband or him and his wife vote for him, they're elected. They can start setting up their office the day before the election, because nothing's going to change. So until we began to oppose those particular positions, I'm not saying we're going to win. I'm going to say we're going to make them have to address some things that matter to us.
That's it. And that's the key. How do we, y'all need to listen to what they just said. How do we make them address the things that matter to us? And I said this early on my live, when the Ku Klux Klan was running this country without the robes and the judges and the president's positions, before they had those positions, okay, let's get down to the nitty gritty. When they were running here, their whole thing was, we wanted to get rid of niggas and Jews. That was their whole thing. They didn't care about nothing. We need to rid this country of niggas and Jews. That's what they wanted. What happened is, the Jews got together and they made laws, and they fought laws, and they talked about law, and they got in position. Now look what the Jews at. The Jews running the government.
Yeah,
they're running the government. And
we never petitioned within ourselves to see, we always were looking for a black savior, a black Jesus, and America's waiting for the black savior to come up so they can crucify him too.
It was fun. That's right.
But the thing is we don't understand that in America, our participation warrants, okay, just like this year, look at 2020. Joe Biden hadn't won any of the preliminaries, or what do you want to call it, doing not one until he went to South Carolina or North Carolina, and they voted and he won. So then everybody began to rally around him. But before that, everybody said, "What is your black agenda, Joe Biden?" But we had two black people running for president before Joe Biden became the nominee. That couldn't get no money. That's why he dropped out. Couldn't get no money. But now we want somebody to have a black agenda instead of putting money behind a person that's black and tell them what we need in our community.
Exactly. Same thing with Barack Obama. We didn't put him in office.
No.
Yeah, and those, I'm not gonna say our votes didn't count, but we didn't. It wasn't black people that put him in office, not as a whole. The thing about it was, we gave up no money to get him in position in the first place.
No, but we only voted.
Politicians is the American way. That's what it is. If you ain't got no money, you can't run. You can only use a certain amount of your own money, and then people can only donate a certain amount of money to help you.
My question for everybody that's listening. Okay, I want everybody to do their own research. Check out 2016, 12, and 20. Those years in the political process, and see how much money was spent just running for the position of president. A position that makes what I think, because during the Nixon era, Nixon was resigning and getting $250,000 a year. At first, he asked for $450,000. He said, "Well, I'll resign if you give me $450,000." America was alarmed. Gil Scott-Heron tells you this in song. America was alarmed. He said, "Okay, I'll just take $250,000 a year." They say, "Whoo, okay." And it's like you ask for more than it's worth.
Yeah.
And then you give them still more than it's worth, but it's a lot less than you initially asked for. And they're willing to say, "Okay, sure, we do that." So look and see how much money is spent on a position that doesn't make $1 million a year. We spend hundreds of millions of dollars running for president, as if that it must be a crown of gold. At least this particular person thought it was.
Yeah.
But I'm saying just Google for yourself and see how much money was spent just running for president this particular year, and see if it's that important that they spend that amount of money, but we don't think it's that important that we vote 100%. What's the difference? And what are we doing?
And also, Joe Biden didn't spend a lot of money on his race. He didn't have. In fact, I don't know what his pockets look like, but he didn't have a lot of money to run.
Top of South Carolina.
Yeah. And now we got Georgia, right? Georgia got election coming up, and we got to pay close. We need to pay close attention to all of these elections. It don't matter what state you live in. You got to understand what's at stake. And when you realize what we got, blowing in the wind like a white flag, surrender time is over. If you want to surrender, go ahead and move to another island by yourself. Surrender time is over. If you're not used to being an ostrich already, because all we do is stick our head in the ground and turn our ass up to anybody who want to jump on. It's time for that to stop.
Oh yeah.
You decide to man. You know how to say man up? This is man up time. Okay. You want to use that phrase? Use it now. If you a grown man telling me, "Oh, I'm not voting," and then you got because and it ain't a valid thing. Now, if you're scared to go vote because you're gonna lock your ass up, then maybe I'll be outside with you with that, because they might lock your ass up.
But when they say their vote don't count, I'm like, who told you that? How do you know?
How do you know?
And because my whole thing about voting, in my senior year of high school, we I'm from Dallas. I lived in right on the edge of Wilmington and Hutchins, which is two very, very, very white towns.
Okay.
They had a school, Wilmington Hutchins. We would bus to the school.
Okay.
So my senior year, we went and we asked the Easy Shop, this store, if we can have an office. So we spent the whole year calling people, telling them, "Look, election is coming up. We need an all-black school board." So imagine trying to get an all-black school board at this white school. So we called churches, we called people with station wagons and buses. So when it was time to vote, we had people going to pick up people that couldn't go, because we already knew in advance who needed rides, who was this. So we called them trying to coordinate trips, and we ain't got cell phones.
Right.
Ain't got text messages. But I'm saying, but we voted in an all-black school board, and that school board voted to build a whole brand new Wilmington school further down, closer to us than that one was.
Wow.
So I'm saying, So to see the power of the vote in a community, imagine if we had 100% of us willing to participate and say, look, I need some governors, I need some city councilmen in my own district, I need some people on the school board, I need some DAs, I need some judges, I need police chiefs. This is what I need in my community. So we start changing the structure of our community and the structure of those around us. So now we're not arguing about police brutality because we have police that understand us because they're from our neighborhood. We have all these things that we can change without demanding that somebody else do it for us.
Yeah. I talked about that too because it's simple stuff that we need to do. Community watch programs. Also, I remember being young and there was a community watch program. If somebody's grandma was sitting in that window all day long doing this shit here and writing shit down, taking that rotary phone, taking forever to call Sister Carol Ann. Sister Carol Ann, call Brother Tim. They need to come over here. But we did it. We did it. And now we have access to it. And we'll see some stuff and be like, shh, that ain't my house. And keep right on moving.
Yeah, and, you know, it's amazing how we see things that need to be changed, but we're not willing to tell other people that these things need to be changed.
Yeah.
And go about how we're going to change them.
We go along for the party. And we're going to party. We're going to get high. We're going to get drunk. That's oh, yeah, I'm good with that. But when it's time to make a stand for something, the only time we know we're going to stand up is when the shit is in my house. Now, I got no choice now. By that time, it's too late. By that time, it's too late.
No, but the people you calling said, don't you remember last year when I told you it was in my house? You didn't want to do nothing about it? What's up, Mr. Wisp? What's up, Smokey? The professor? AC Mooney. I'm talking to Coach Ja on StreamYard. This is our brand new show called 10 Times Now. We're trying to do it on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook too, right?
Facebook too, yeah.
Facebook.
So, you can't say you can't find it now.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a brand new format, a brand new way of having discussions, open discussions with more than us. We want to bring politicians on. We want to bring policemen on. We want to bring anybody willing to talk to us. It's an open. So the rules for the show is none.
The rules for the show is just be real to who you are.
Yeah.
If you're a racist, be your racist self.
Yeah, I'm saying I want to talk to you just I was telling a girl today, I was looking at, in New York where they arrested the guy that owns the bar that didn't want to abide by the rules of the mayor or whatever. They arrested him. So they had this big picket in front of his bar. But I'm looking at all these people with these American flags. I'm saying I've never seen so many people flying big American flags, the kind you have at state capitals. I'm saying that big, they hold on to. I'm saying, so is that flag, is there another flag underneath that flag? I'm just asking.
Right.
I'm asking for a friend. Yeah, I'm asking for a friend. Is there another flag underneath that flag that you waving so high? I'm asking for a friend. I'm saying you can send me a DM, just let me know.
Yeah, just yeah. Fill in the blank, put it in the box, whatever you need to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I will say that I was proud that we had a very big turnout, record numbers voting this election. I want to see the same shit happen in 2 years.
Oh man, I want to see it happen in January.
Well, definitely, right. We want to see it happen in January 1st. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm in agreement. 2 years, but my thing is, we need to have these discussions right now.
Right now.
We can't, because I'm tired of listening to news media and everybody say, well, will the black community come out? What do we need to motivate the black community? I'm like, they're killing us. That ain't motivation. They're killing black men for nothing. That ain't motivation. I don't see how we need any more motivation than the sunshine or this breath that we're walking around with.
Yeah. If we need more motivation than that, we might as well roll over. Just kill off now. Because how much more motivation can I give you? My oldest son and I don't really communicate as well, right? And besides looking in the mirror, seeing my face on his, you know what? And here's the main things that I have in common with him. We both black. We both got Puerto Rican in us. and both of us have been shot all to hell and got the same scars on our bodies, except he don't have one on his face. The same 33 staples on his stomach I got on mine. That's ridiculous. And if that ain't enough for you to understand, God damn it, you need to do something, then it's a problem here.
But that's amazing, because we've always heard the story like mother, like daughter. You know, like she had a baby at 13, so now her daughter's 13, her daughter's pregnant. And we hear those stories often, but never father son. That relatable story like that.
Yeah. My son was gunned down, and you know, I still don't even have the gist of the situation, but just the idea that we wasn't even talking. We wasn't even on good terms, man, you know. And my son didn't even want to see me in the hospital when I came to see him. But first of all, he didn't know I was going to see what people have to understand too. And my son had to understand is I don't need a whole lot of information to find you. First of all, you belong to me. You still, my blood runs through your body, number one. Number two, you still in my city. And so nobody gave me the information where he was. I was sort of at the hospital before the hospital even opened. Because New York, they got visiting hours between a certain time. You can't just go in. Yeah. I'm there already. And then when everybody's like, well, how'd you get here? That ain't important. Where the fuck is my son? You know what I'm saying? But again, like, you know, we have to realize, man, you know, just removing yourself from a situation don't make the situation better. It's still the same situation. And just because you went from the west side to the east side, don't mean you're gonna get the same hell over there. So you got to change the scenario across the board.
But what you just told me makes me want to change a line in the home poem, because it says, how come common ground has nothing to do with sand? I want to change the how come common ground has more to do with blood than it has to do with sand.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. 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 Man, I'm telling it's you know, as Black people, man, we've done more damage continuing the same process over and over, just allowing it to repeat itself, knowing the answer already. You know, one of the statements that I used to say that I hate that I ever said it before is, I was born a nigga. I'm always gonna be a nigga. I regret every day that I ever said that, and it's because nigga is a mentality, and you accept that mentality if you choose to. But you ain't never born other than what you was born, and you can't be born a nigga by definition of the word. You can't be born such. It's like you get jumped in, and they're gonna jump you in as a nigga now. You jumped in like that. Because that's only you got to accept that in order to be that. You know, I listened to Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle said that he had this when he fell out with the company and leaving the show business and all that. He said the lady said, "Well, Dave Chappelle, you can't say the word faggot on thing," and he said, "Well, how come I can't say faggot, but he said you can't say faggot, but I can say nigga." And she was saying, "Well, you can't say faggot because you're not a faggot." This is his terminology. It's not my words now. And she was like, "You can't say the word faggot because, you know, that's not you." And he said, "Well, I'm not a nigga either." and I thought about it. He said it as a joke, but it was so real. Like, I can say this because of what I look like, but I can't say that. And hell, you don't know what Dave Chappelle was doing. He could be that if he wanted to be. But the point is, he didn't accept the mentality of that. You're not going to tell me this is who I am. I'll tell you who I am.
But Ja, I think what's up? Yeah, I'm talking to Ja on a new show, 10 Times Now. 10 Times Now is that every moment right now is more important than we think. 10 times more. His StreamYard, YouTube is Coach Ja Smalls YouTube, Coach Ja Smalls Instagram, Coach Ja Smalls Facebook too, right?
Yep.
Coach Ja Smalls Facebook, and mine is AJ Wordhouse here on Instagram. So that's what we're doing. We're having a conversation. We're trying to create a new format and a new show so we can bring people in either on Facebook, Instagram, or wherever, so we can have a three-way conversation or a pure conversation of whatever the matter is we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. And Mystical, let me say something. It's not so much when you know better, you do better. It's when you believe better.
Ooh.
Because you can't tell me you don't know right from wrong. You put your hand on that stove, it's burning. You know to keep your hand off that damn stove. And so we know right from wrong, but we choose to do what we're comfortable with, what we think people are going to judge us accordingly. You know, it was hard to talk proper living in the hood. You better not. You trying to be white? No, I'm trying to be proper, nigga. I'm trying to get me a career. You know what I'm saying? But we choose to do opposite of what we know.
I think we've grown up as children trying to figure out what we can get away with. So as adults, we perpetuate that on a mass scale on what can we get away with without, you know, because I'm sorry. They say I'd rather say I'm sorry than I'd rather say ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah. And my thing is, you know, how the hell? Listen, I don't want your permission to do nothing. I'll make my own way, right? Because if I'm asking you for permission, I'm already imprisoning myself to your authority.
To your will.
If it's your person or your belongings, that's a different story, right? But just like on my show, when I say, you have permission to be great, you don't have to ask for that. You got permission to be free, you don't have to ask for that. But in you being free in that state of mind, what do you do with your freedom? I could use my freedom and get on my computer and look up twerking and Pornhub. I can do that with my freedom if I choose to. But then I just became a slave to something else.
See, I always tell people, I say, freedom of speech is free. It's the sound that costs.
It's the sound that costs, and it's priceless. It's invaluable.
So if anybody on Instagram have a question they want me to ask Coach Ja, just type it in here. I'll ask him, and I'm gonna try and pay attention to both because I really want y'all to understand that Coach Ja is a person you need to follow, you need to listen to. He's sharp. He does coffee time with Coach Ja in the mornings, 7 o'clock time on West Coast, 10 o'clock on East Coast. On his YouTube, I'm saying tune in. YouTube, Instagram, just tune in and check out, you know, Coffee Time with Ja. Make you a cup of coffee and check it out. Just sit there and listen. Yeah. I'm saying because I think we have to understand that every open mic means the mic is open for us to hear.
That's right.
It's not always open for us to spit. And we've got so comfortable wanting to only speak and not listen that it's hard for us to sit still for a minute and pay attention to somebody else.
Yeah.
I know, me too. I'm saying I'm included in the sentence because we have to relearn the things we think we taught ourselves.
Wow. Because we got all the answers. We're the smartest dumb people in the world. I'm telling you. We got all the answers, man, and won't do nothing. And the thing about it is, like, you know, hell, it take more than one person to build a house. And even before you get to building the house, somebody got a vision what the house looked like and draw up the blueprints. We just want to jump straight to the damn house.
But not only that, when you first design the house and you do the foundation, it has to be approved before you put the wood, the roll bar, the concrete out. That has to be approved before you do that. So there's stages of, I guess, creation that we got to go through, even in building a house or writing a poem. You have a title. Sometimes you don't have a title, but you're writing and you're trying to figure out how do I stay within the borders of these thoughts.
Right.
But there's a way that we're constructing everything that we live through, live by, or live with.
Yeah. And there's a time process. There's you listen. Don't come to the slam with the poem you wrote on the way in and expect to win. Now you can plan to win. But that might not be, and then sometimes you get lucky, right? Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes it's in the moment. But we just at the end of the day, man, if each person you know can get somebody on the team is just that much stronger. But we keep drawing the people on the team for the wrong mission. But
see, people have to understand the slam team is hard work.
Oh my God!
The slam team is
some team. Hold on.
Because
Let me get some.
You can write some team pieces if you never wrote one. You're gonna write some things that you didn't want to write. You're gonna say some lines you didn't write that you don't want to say. But it's this team thing. Like, how we gonna win if we don't be with each other, a part of each other, or part of our unit?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you a story. And Hope Witz is in the building. Our first 2 years with Slam, when Witz was on the squad, because he made it every year, except for the first year, because the first year he didn't come out. That genius mind that Mr. Witz had to go through a transformation. I'm sure he don't mind me sharing this. But what he did was he kept saying, I don't see my place on this team. Now, there was a lot of variables that added up to him feeling that way, and I understood it. But he called me, said, bro, I don't feel my place on this team. And I didn't have the words to give him. He said, no, I didn't ask you to have an answer for me. He said, Josh, just shut the fuck up and listen. That's what he said. Shut up and listen to what I'm telling you. He said, I don't feel my place on this team. And he said, now that I've said that, now I see. And look at how y'all love his work now because of what he had to go through on that team. Now, I'm new to Slam. I'm 2 years in when Witz came on the squad. I'm 1 year in. This is my second year. Mm-hmm. I don't know about being on Slam, coach. Ain't nobody taught me nothing. Well, no. Let me back up. That's wrong. Blackberry gave me all she can give me until it was time for her to go because she went overseas to work. And so she gave me everything she could. So let me not tell that lie, because she gave me what she could in the time frame that she gave me. And I had to learn a lot of hands-on because the first year she was still with us. And I didn't have what I needed to give him. And then he took it in himself and he folded himself inside out and then regurgitated all of this great work. And now I'm over here working on the piece now that I'm calling him like, look, did you help me write this piece yet? Right now, I'm going him to give me a piece that I need his help writing. And I'm his damn coach. But I had to understand that I'm not going to always have everything needed. I got to go outside and get it.
But check it out. That story is almost like Jack and the Beanstalk. We have these fairy tales because I believe that America played a long game, so they taught us fairy tales in the beginning. And the fairy tales, each one had a moral to it, but we didn't know the moral until we grew up. So when America started telling us history, they just took the once upon a time off, but there was still a story that we didn't know there was a moral to because we thought it was truth as history. So America hasn't changed. It's just us, like Jack and the Beanstalk. They gave Jack everything he had, but he had everything he needed and just didn't know it.
You just ain't know it. Just ain't know it. Same to the Scarecrow. he talking about he ain't got no damn brain. He got all the answers. He got no brain. The Scarecrow is a nigga. That's what that is.
Oh yeah.
All the answers and answering everything and can't do shit for himself.
because he had gotten used of saying that he don't have a heart or don't have a brain or seeing what's missing instead of learning how to do with everything that you have.
Yeah.
Because we are quick to complain and compare and we still don't analyze ourselves or analyze our process or our jobs or analyze the things that we do to see if we can do it better. We say, oh man, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah. Real quick.
Like, didn't you start it? Once you started, that's the whole job.
It's too late now. You can't just quit halfway through. But we do.
That voice y'all hearing is Coach Job. He's actually on his YouTube. He's on StreamYard, which is YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. So I logged on Instagram because we want to actually. This is our first show. The name of the show is 10 times now, which means that every moment that we perceive or that we go through beginning now is 10 times more important than we see it to be. So if you have a question, I can answer y'all the question, just type it in. But yeah, this is gonna be every Thursday. We're trying to refine the process. Hadn't seen anybody do a show like this. Hadn't seen anybody trying to go live on 3 different platforms on 4 different devices.
If you say you can't find us now, you just lying. So yeah, and IG, I'm on with AJ Houston. If y'all not familiar with him, please get familiar with him. AJ Houston is an amazing brother. If you got a question for him, pop it in the queue, pipe it up there, and I'll ask him and we can answer it. It's about having a conversation. We just want to have a conversation with real people and let's talk about real things that matter. I don't want to do soap opera shit. Let's talk about stuff that matter. Now, I'm not a therapist. I don't know if AJ is, but I am not a therapist.
Oh no, I don't. I don't even have a sofa in here.
Me either.
Because to me, that's all the therapist meant to me is they got a sofa.
Look, I got my drums in the back if I need to play something for you, but that's about all your therapy you getting in here.
Rachel, what up? Daybreak. What up, Miss Lady Bridget? No, but thank y'all for coming in. Thank y'all for coming in. We're trying to have a conversation. If y'all have any topic y'all want me to ask John to discuss, I will read it and I'll let him tell you about it. So but right now we're having a discussion on everything. Because right now it's time that we began to understand that if we know people that know something that we don't, those are the people we need to talk to.
That's right. I got a question for you. Someone, Diamond asks, how did you morning?
Oh man, when I got up this morning, it was awesome. First, I woke up, the usual time I wake up because I'm trying to catch Josh's show at 7 here. I had a cramp in my leg, so I hopped up and I'm pushing my foot down with a cramp, and I'm like, God, these muscles work, man. I must be excellent today. And then I moved my fingers and they was working. And I say, oh man, I woke up just in time to catch Josh's show. So everything was excellent, like usual. Every day is excellent. I just find different ways to display how I've been blessed with this breath and blessed with these gifts of rising and shining when the morning comes.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, today has been a long day for me, but I was so looking forward to this moment and being able to see what this is going to turn out to be, because we already do have some great conversations on IG and they be centered around poetry, but it's centered around life. And it's not often that you get to have these conversations. And so we're making history and leaving legacy now.
Oh, yeah.
And then whoever takes it from this point or gets inspired, because this is to inspire everybody to do something. You know, don't just sit home, do something. I want to get back to a thing that I talked about yesterday. I want to get back to being pen pals. Let's pen pal. So if we become pen pals, we do another thing. We also keep the post office alive. Just pen pal, just sending letters. Don't wait till holiday time. Send a letter. Like, okay, pandemic is now, we got access to StreamYard and YouTube and all this stuff. When's the last time you wrote somebody a letter? Let's get to the point where we're just saying, dear cousin so-and-so, I love you. Fold it up, put it in an envelope, and send it on. It's still
now imagine somebody going to the mailbox and there's a letter for them that ain't a bill.
There ain't a bill.
They wouldn't know how to act. They wouldn't know how to act. They say, I got a letter. Y'all, everybody gather around. Let's try to open this and see what it say. And
with that change that we're using to send letters, right? Because stamps are getting expensive. Don't get me wrong, but they're getting expensive because, damn it, we don't use it.
Yeah.
And if we do that, we're saving the post office. Somebody still got a job, and we're actually, you know, when you laugh and you smile and you're happy, you live longer. Happy people live longer. Stress will kill you. Stress is that thing that kills you.
Hey, John, I came up with a question to piggyback off of that. What we can do is, as poets, see, we may not remember how to write a letter and put sincerely yours and all that other stuff on the bottom. So the next poem you write a duplicate copy or print it up, put your name on it, and say, look, this is my new page. Tell me what you thought about it, and mail it to somebody. Yeah, so that way, then you start practicing. Okay, dear, is that dear or to whom it may or how do you start a letter?
Yeah. AJ, I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna surprise you, and it may surprise a lot of people here. And at one point, I was ashamed to tell this story. I moved here in '97, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had stopped writing. I wasn't writing letters and all of those things. I want to say about late 97, early 98. I caught myself writing a letter, and I forgot how to spell the word "of" for a minute. Of. That's how long it had been since I read something. The word "of." And I was sitting here like, wait a minute, UV is not a word. And I was embarrassed. And then I said, you know what that is? Because my job didn't require me to read nothing. And I was just doing, you know, whatever. And man, I was so in the moment, I was embarrassed. And then I found out the only embarrassing thing to that was the fact that I didn't choose to read. Something that our family was whooped and chained and beat and punished and put in a hot box and raped for, because we could and wasn't allowed to read. And I took that for granted and would not read. Ain't that something?
Man, I have some books. I have some books I got from the library that I started reading, but I was writing so much that my girl was always joking, like, okay, when you gonna finish that book? And I'm like, I need to finish the book. But on Daybreak say they did that before too, just forgot how to spell something. Yeah. But my thing is that we don't understand how important it is for us to use all our faculties all the time.
All the time.
You know how anthropiceps, you know, comes in when you're bedridden and you can't move, and somebody got to move your legs for you before you even try and walk.
Yeah.
See, let's not let our writing fingers, our writing hand get that way that somebody got to put a pen in our finger and just move it on page so we can remember how to write a poem or how to write a letter. So there's things that we have to tell ourselves that we need to do in order to just keep doing the things we tell ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to exercise everything, man. And we don't. We just take for granted it's going to be okay. And that's horrible. Man, I'm writing down some notes here.
But I think COVID taught us that. That we cannot accept anything as normalcy. We can't believe that something's going to be the way it was before. Because when they shut everything down, man, everybody was shocked. But the animals was shocked too, because the animals said, hey, ain't no cars out here where the people at, so they sleeping in the middle of the street, hanging out like, you know, and you forget this is where they used to live. This was their home that we just ran them out of.
Yeah. Did you see how beautiful the sky was?
Man, I got mountains all around me.
Oh man.
And it looked like it kind of looked like fog, but it's smog.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because I always thought it was fog, and my girl told me, look at all this smog. I'm like, no, don't tell me it's smog. I was thinking it was fog. But after the shutdown, you can drive down the street, you can see every mountain top, the little ice caps on top. And I'm like, man, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
And about 2 weeks after everything opened back up, it was gone again.
We forgot what life was again. I tell people every day, how many times you wake up in the morning, you get to think about just you. You don't. You wake up in the morning, I got to go to work. I got to get this. I got to do that. The other thing. Rarely do we wake up in the morning and you don't even get a good stretch. You stretch in the shower. Think about that. Yeah. Now, you got up, put the coffee pot on. You know what I'm saying? It's all these other things. Turn the heat on for a minute because it's cold now. You did all of that before you even got to get a good stretch. Natural stuff.
Oh, Massport. Oh, somebody asked Massport, said, can we be pen pals? That's dope. That's dope. Yes, Massport, go be pen pals. You gotta get that done.
I really want to do that. I want to start that up. I want us to be pen pals and send letters to all. I mean, we done met so many people on through since the pandemic. We met so many people online. Let's write some letters, y'all. And it ain't got to be about the man. I seen you on IG. You messed up that damn poem, didn't you? Dropped your poem. I heard. Write that letter.
Yeah, international too.
International too. Yeah. And now is the time because again, you remember the post office was in trouble for a little bit. Just those little letters putting there saving somebody's job, and you're saving somebody's life. Do you realize people who are that are in a hospital, that are a step away from hospice, will fight just a little harder if they had another reason? Think about that. They will fight to live just a little bit more because somebody wrote them a letter and said, I love you. Let me tell you, I've been trying to get my daughter into the hospital. It was before COVID, to be a volunteer, just to sit. She just wanted to sit and talk to the sick children in the children's ward. That's what she wanted to do. And for years, they're in Raggedy Hospital, all excuses in the world. They won't let you do it. When am I let you do it?
I used to take my sons with me when I went to convalescent homes. And I talked to, next to me talking to people, laughing. And then first every, standoff is like sitting down like that. They're always taking me to poetry, taking me to places I don't want to go. They start talking to people, and the people be entertaining, because a lot of times you don't know how entertaining a story somebody can tell you of what happened to them. Because there was one guy told me that he, through newspapers, right? I actually wrote this story when I was going to Kansas State. So we had to do a story on the Great Depression. So the guy told me during the Great Depression, he had a paper route, but his paper route, he was paying 25 cents a month on the bicycle. And his parents was taking most of the money from his paper route to buy food and stuff, but he had the paper route. So he said, what happened is he did all this and he didn't know how much money he was getting paid for the paper route.
Wow.
But he said all this time he was doing everything, and he finally found out that his parents were setting aside money from him, and they just weren't using it all.
Wow.
So when they showed him some of the money he made, he said he had never had, it wasn't a lot of money. I can't remember exactly what it was. He said he had never had that much money in his life.
Wow.
But it was just him telling me the story. And I wrote the story. I told it from his perspective. And they actually published the story in Kansas State Library. And I don't know where to find it. I was trying to find it. I said, I want to see what I wrote back there, see why they published it. Yeah. But I don't know how to find
it. You know what's funny? I was at I went to Southwestern over there by Western Carolina. And it was now my creative writing coach from back then is gonna come on my show one morning. I'm getting him on there one morning. Really good brother, man. I'm a real good dude, man. I loved his class. But anyway, they had came around and said, well, we're going to do in this area, we're publishing stories so everybody can submit stuff. Now, mind you, my English, when my English 111, 113, I bust my English classes out. It's the math that sucked because I can't argue 2 + 2 is 17. So math is direct. Reading it on I could do. And so I put in my English teacher. I took her all three semesters because she was on point. And she said, look, all of these poems here, I'll submit all of them. I want you to submit every one of these. She told me all the ones to submit. I submitted it, man. Them jokers didn't take not one of my poems and publish it. Not one. Not one. And I was upset, man. I was top of my class. I was top of my damn class. I knew I was like, shit, I'm gonna have my stuff published. And I'm looking now, I'm like, damn, they didn't publish not one. They wasn't paying me. They just to publish, they wouldn't publish not one. And then I thought about where I was at. I was in Western Carolina. They said, get this damn black boy, po' boy poems out of here. Not one. Not one.
But that reminded me, my first book, It's All a Part of Life, I sent off to probably 12 different publishers. And I got rejection letters, but it takes a while. You can't send it to 12 people at one time. You send about 4.
Yeah.
Then you wait for the rejection letter to come, send it to another 4. But I think I was rejected from 14 different publishers, and I only sent it to 12. At least that's what it felt like to me. So I know how it felt when you say, man, don't nobody think this is good enough to publish? And that's when I started reading. I said, well, I'm gonna publish my own stuff. I want to build me a library of my own work. So everybody that turned me down can finally see me somewhere and say, oh, that's that guy we turned down, ain't it? I want to publish enough books to where it's too late for them to come and catch up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I thought about it when I went, because not long after that, Western Carolina had brought in a poet from some traveling poet had came, and I wasn't familiar with the slam scene, but now I know he was a slam poet according to the way he did his poem, and did his poem about strawberries, and it was a cute poem, you know, it was cute and everything. But the thing was, you know, he's traveling with this poem, and I'm saying to myself, damn, they paying you for that? And they put my shit in, they wouldn't put none of my poems in the publication. So,
for free, huh?
For free. And they pay him to come to Western, because it ain't no way you just happen to be in the area, not over there. But I look at that roadmap, and that roadmap is what allowed me to be who I am in the poetry community now. and why I don't turn down folks like that. Like if you're not ready to feature, I'm not gonna let you feature. That's just, it don't work like that. I can love you and like you the same way, but I don't love you enough to let you be a fool trying to do something that you can't do at my event. I'm not going to, not at my expense. I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot. But
I've had conversations with poets because, you know, a poet come out, hey, can I feature? I'm like, I've never seen you here before. I said, why don't you come and participate, and then we'll see if your body of work won't. Because if you got one good poem don't make a feature.
Don't make no feature.
3 good poems don't make a feature. That's not even a full set. So a lot of times people have been, I guess, gassed enough because you can be the best poet in your house. But you got to forget, you must remember your house is in a neighborhood with a whole lot of other houses, and none of them heard your poems. So I've seen poets come to our slam that had never been to a slam. Talking about, yeah, I'm getting in the slam. I'm like, okay. So it was a guy sitting at the table with us, and my buddy Janine was there, and Janine that's the one that was the indie champion and 4 times forward slam champion and all this other stuff. So this guy was talking about, oh man, y'all ain't never heard nothing like I'm finna spit. Y'all ain't never heard nothing like this. And he got up, he spit. So we were looking at each other, trying to figure out when is he gonna spit the poem that he told us we had never heard anything like. And right behind him was Janine. So he came and sit down, he got low scores. Came and sit down, and Janine got up there and got a perfect 50. And he was sinking down in his chair so low. I felt like pulling him up, like it's okay.
It's okay.
He didn't know.
Yeah.
But it was just, he was sinking down in his chair because he said, this girl got up and scared the shit out of me with her poem.
Let me tell you, when I went to some of these poets, I'm not gonna name because I don't really rock with them. But I've been to hear some poets who have knocked me out of the water with pieces, and they deliver a piece that I probably would have read it differently from the way they delivered it, but their delivery made the poem shoot through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, Star was on Slam Charlotte. I met her when she was on Slam Charlotte a few years back. And Star does this poem called Dandelions. And it's the tone that she uses when she delivers this poem. This poem put me in a field of dandelions every time she does it. And when you do a poem, that's what, when you're slamming to win, that is where your poem should be targeted. You should be trying to take me to a place that I might not even feel comfortable there. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, the Wizard of Oz, and the house is spinning and then it lands somewhere and you got to peek out the window and be like, wait, I did not park my car here. And that's how you should want your poem to reach somebody. Take me there. And so when you say poems, when some of your poems, you say things like, this ground, you know, walking on this soil don't feel like home. That makes me think about stuff. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, Moody's in here too, right? Moody Black is on here. I watched Moody Black do a poem. They did a group piece about busting a pimple. Clearasil, one of them crazy shit, right? But they turned it around to doing about how the police was clearing you out. Boom, clear it out. Boom, clear it out. Boom. Man, listen. But the way they did it, hairs on my arm was just standing up. Just crazy. Crazy. One of my favorite poems. And I don't remember the name of it. Moody gonna say it in the feed probably, but one of my favorite. It's the manner of how they delivered the poem. Man. Tavis Brunson. When I heard Tavis when Tavis did his first feature for me, I cried, man. I cried. I didn't know what I was asking to come to my place to do a feature. I cried.
And I'm saying the amazing thing about poetry is, I'm saying poetry is easy now because you can Google enough poets and mimic enough poet styles that it don't sound like their style, but you still haven't found yours.
Yeah.
But to find your own style is a living thing. It's not a listening thing.
Right.
It's a living thing because once you find your own style, it's some pain in it. Every poem should uncomfort your comfort. Because I didn't want to write this poem like this, but I lived this poem like this.
Yeah. There's a Neutrogena. That's it, Moody. Neutrogena. That's it, bro. Neutrogena. That was the There was oh man, I lost my train of thought. I'll give you another example. Lady V was on my team since I've been with Respect to My Slam 2016. We went to Louisville, I believe it was, and V did this poem that's one of the hardest poems for her to do now after this performance. And it's because the manner in which she engaged herself in the actual poem. And she slammed before she was there, but I think in that moment, she found a way to reach inside herself. If you couldn't believe that poem, you was in trouble.
Oh yeah.
If you couldn't believe that poem, you were not breathing. And because she delivered it in a way, you know how it is. You got to run to them afterwards. You got to catch them because they falling now. And she had delivered it in a way. It's on YouTube too, but she delivered it in such a way. And I've seen her in practice. I've seen her performance. She's been at my spot all the time. So to see her go there, open up a new thing for me. Now, mind you, I wasn't slamming. They'll tell you I hadn't slammed at Southern Fried yet. I hadn't done it yet. Because my team, let's go. Look, I'm good. I'll be here next year. It's y'all turn. Y'all do this shit. Yeah, anyway.
I have a friend, Chuck, right? Chuck Jackson. His name is Brenton Jackson. He got a psychology degree. I think he has a master's in psychology. But he's a poet, man. He's one of the dopest poets, man, I've heard. First time he went to nationals with us, he did this poem. And when he did this poem, he was oh, it's beautiful. The poem is beautiful. He said, I want to be beautiful like the holes in Jesus Christ's hands and the holes in Jesus Christ's feet. I want to be beautiful like the cotton gin fan tied around little Emmett Till's neck. I want to be that goddamn beautiful. But I'm saying the way he was performing the poem and his leg was stepping and he was shaking, man, I never had every hair on my arm just stand up. I was sitting there and I was looking around at the audience because I'm like, they ain't gonna know what to do with this.
No.
He was the first poet up. First poet up. I'm like, they ain't gonna know what to do with this. This ain't gonna make no sense to them. Because they hadn't expected to be, be sitting down and have to clean mud up off their clothes and stuff that they didn't even know they was outside. But I'm saying, but I've seen performances by poets where you just look around the audience and say, y'all need some seatbelts in these chairs. Because it's finna be that kind of ride.
That kind of ride. I watched a young lady. All right, Moody, I see you, brother. Thanks for tuning in, man. Moody said he got to hang it. He got to go to work.
Okay. Appreciate it, Moody. Moody.
AJ, I saw at Southern Fried in Louisville, there was a young lady that this last round. And I don't remember what team she was on. As a matter of fact, Southern Fried just posted the picture of us on that last day. They just posted on their Instagram page. And the young lady got up there with her phone, a little thing too. She was real little. And she read from her phone, this poem about her mother. I think her mother battled with lupus or one of them horrible diseases. And I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't a dry eye in that entire audience. And she read it from her phone, but it was the manner in which she dove into that poem, bro. I was hurting, man. I wanted to go up there and grab her and just carry her off the stage and just hold like she was my daughter. Like it hurt me, but it was those moments that taught me how to revisit my edits and look at how you're delivering. And so a lot of people say to me, they like the tone in which I use. That's because I read it in the tone that I wrote it. Mm-hmm. Anytime I'm outside of the tone that I wrote it, the poem is something different, and it doesn't hit like it's supposed to.
And I think the most dazzling thing about writing, about poetry, is that every now and then, because somebody asked me to say, okay, how you know it's that poem? How you know you done wrote that poem? I'm like, shouldn't every poem be that poem? Or you just writing poems trying to get to, they said, just popping in real quick on the rest. Madeline, what's up? Law of Attractions. I appreciate y'all coming through. This is StreamYard. I'm talking to Coach Ja. He's on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook. That's Coach Ja Smalls on all three of those platforms. We have a new show called 10 Times Now, and we're trying to create a new format, a new type of show. So we're going to have interview. We're going to have people come in on Instagram so we can hear everything on his Instagram, on his Facebook. So we're going to change the format of how we talk to people, because a lot of people aren't on all the platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to reach you where you are so you can tell us the things that we need to know, because we're willing to learn things that we didn't know we need to learn.
Yeah. 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 You know who was a favorite squad of mine too, that I'm sure you're familiar with them, Team Snow?
Oh yeah.
Oh man. What's the young lady name? Oh,
Which one?
You cut her hair. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, you talking about golly. We were just down there not too long ago. I was in Hattiesburg before we moved here. So I used to go to New Orleans and do golly. If Faye was in high, Faye knew who.
I can't think of her name.
She fired too.
But anyway, oh man, is she? I follow her too. I told her I was.
And she can sing.
Oh, she sings too.
Yeah, she can sing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not Honey V. Not Honey. Not Honey.
Not Honey.
Not Honey, but I can't think of her name.
It's gonna come to me in a second.
Honey too. I can't think of her name right now. But man, she lit it up. I think Greensboro was really something for me. Were you in Greensboro?
No, I wasn't in Greensboro. No, the last one I went to was Arkansas. Last one, Arkansas, was 15 or 16. You there?
Oh, you froze up on me. Okay.
Okay. The last one I went to was Arkansas. Was 15 or 16.
Okay. That must have been 15. That's her. Icon. That's her. Icon.
Yeah, Icon. Yeah, I knew somebody. Yeah, Icon. Because I featured with Bill Doon in Lafayette, Louisiana, and Icon was there as a too. But I was featuring with Bill Doon. We were both features there in Lafayette at the college, and it was fire. Icon came up and rocked it. So and she's been fired. But you know Dominic Christina that from Denver? Man, she did. But that was the first person that did an Emmett Till poem. And it was on the final stage in Indies. Her poem was like 350. 350 on the final stage, final poem. 350, and she still won. I'm saying, but the poem, it's on YouTube. The poem, Dominique Christina. The poem was so fire.
Oh my God! Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Poem was so fire, man. I'm saying people were crying. I was shaking my arm. Hair was standing up on my arms, and she read it off of paper. She had just wrote it.
Let me ask you this, AJ. Did you hear the one she did with Trayvon about the mothers? Trayvon Martin mother, Mike Brown mother, and who other mother was that? She got a poem she does. I want to say it's Mike Brown. It's Trayvon Martin. It's not Tamir. It's somebody else's mom. But she did a poem, Mothers of Murdered Sons. And she ends the poem. She said something she referenced. I'm going to mess this up. Reference Jesus' son being taken away from him. He said, but God, what about these sons?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Bro, listen. If that poem don't make you want to go outside and just try to take over the world, you ain't breathing. You know the poem I'm talking about now.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Of Dark Man Blues, so every poem is his best poem, his next best poem.
Go ahead, Dark Man. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Yes, she when I can't find what I want to write, I put that poem. I find that's one of my favorites in YouTube. As a matter of fact, what I do on YouTube, I have my favorites in YouTube is I want to say 2018 Women of the World Slam.
Mm-hmm.
I got that.
Dallas?
Yeah.
But they're in Dallas too?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
It's so many poems in that one that really I'm like, oh, I got motivation in there.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man, you need to go through Shane Corzan's work, man. Shane, he's such a painter of images, man. He is so dope. And Shane is kind of big burly guy, right? He got a double chin. And he would lean into the mic. He leaned into the mic and he would almost whisper. But he wouldn't change his tone. His volume would be up and down. I'm saying his voice would be graduating.
Mm-hmm.
But what it was is he would have you almost, sitting on your chair as though if you leaned forward, you would hear him better. But the whole time when he walk away from the mic and the stage, you're still sitting on the end of your chair, leaning forward, trying to hear him better.
God Almighty. God Almighty. Okay, so Diamond got a question for you, which I already know the answer. She said, can you ask Dr. AJ if the vaccine is approved, is he taking it knowing he had COVID?
Okay, I'm gonna take it in 2028. but honestly, my sister asked me that today. You know what I told my sister? I say I'm gonna ask them to send it to me in a blanket the way they did smallpox to the Indians, or let's have another experiment like Tuskegee and let's do it there.
Yeah, but let's not use black bodies this time, right?
Yeah. Let's not, let's do some white experiments this time
and see how that works. Yeah. Tony Danes. Hey Tony, how you doing?
What up, dog man?
I will never take that vaccine. I will never take that vaccine. Now I'm gonna tell you, Darkman Blues had come on and read from his book on the IG Live, man. I love his work.
I'm saying I had him on. He got his new book about to come out. What, John Bow?
Okay.
It's about to come out. He almost done with it. I told him, yeah. I told him to hit me up, let me know. Because what we need to do, instead of like on that Thursday, whenever the book come out, you and I on our show should do a book signing for him on our show.
Yeah.
We do it that way. Cause I want to be a part of that, man. But check it out. Me and Ja would do we would do a joint book signing, and believe it or not, that's from coast to coast. If you didn't know that.
I'm gonna tell you what I would like. Well, so I'm not at liberty to say some things, but I got next year. I'm gonna have some amazing situations worked out to do some things next year. And I'm waiting to hear about this next position I have for some other things, but there's some things that's gonna come up, and I have some. I want to bring West Coast poets to the East Coast, and then take East Coast poets to the West Coast, and that is something that's very doable if we do it right. And I'm gonna throw this tidbit out there for y'all poets who are authors, and I'm gonna give you this tidbit for free. If you are an author, when you go and you want to do a book signing and all of those things, do your book signing and put the price of your book in your ticket price. And sell your book. Don't worry about making the money at the damn door. Sell the damn book. And because we get caught up in the wrong things. If you sell 100 books that night at whatever your price is, let them in free. Yeah. After they buy the damn book. Now I gave you that tidbit for free, but I want to do those things. And so if AJ's got a book coming out, okay, listen, I need to sell. I need him to sell 20, 25 books at a minimum for him to even show up. If you do that, then I know when you get here, you got some money to take before you take your ass back home, right? But you got some money now, and then you get to get your book signed in the way it is. If that's I'm just throwing a number. If that's the minimum, if your books are $20 and you sell 25 of them even before you get here, great. That means you can come with 25 that you know you ain't going back with off the gate. Ship the other ones here by the time you get here, and let's sell off.
Yeah.
But that's the you know, AJ, this is what we're gonna do too. We're gonna start teaching them how to host and do open mics and book signings. We're gonna have to
Okay. But about the book, check this out. I want everybody, every poet in earshot of us, to go create your account on Goodreads. Create an account on Goodreads, because if your book is on Amazon, you can write a review on Goodreads. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm getting ready to write a review on all the books that I bought from all the poets that I bought on Instagram. Because see, our problem with sales on Amazon is that we don't have enough 4 and 5 star ratings. You need like 25-star ratings for your book to make it up the echelon of what Amazon consider, a bestseller or however you get there. Yeah. But let's do this. Every poet create an account on Goodreads. Go and put a review on any book that you bought of any poet. So that way you're creating reviews, and then people will see that you've created one. They will buy your book and they'll write a review on yours, because until we actually start reciprocating in this community that we're building, we don't have the ability to keep dollars here.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And I have an account on there too. I just hadn't been active on it. I haven't, but I have an account on it. I was actually looking for a few poets that was on there. I was actually looking for my English instructor too, but I couldn't find her work on there anymore. But that is a great idea, AJ. That is a great idea. That's a great idea. And that's why I wanted to be
on Goodreads. But everybody's on Goodreads. I'm saying, if you have a book on Amazon, you already have an account on Goodreads. You just hadn't set it up. Okay, Native Son, check it out. Before we do that, we're still talking, but he sent a request. So give me a second. I'm gonna bring you in, because we want to see how it works when we have 3 people in here.
Yeah.
But check this out, Jai. I told you I wrote this poem, Confessions of an Ink Pen in Witness Protection. So I want you to tell me what you think of this poem. I ain't read it. I read it to my girl when I finished it, but I was like, I think it has everything I wanted to have, but it might be some things missing. So you let me know.
All right, cool.
Okay, Confessions of an Ink Pen in Witness Protection. Some writers fail to comprehend why I quit in mid-stroke, why I'm brand new and stopped writing immediately after they began. No one ever asked me if I cared what you write. Will it matter how tight or how loose you hold me? Can I read? Do I have feelings? Are these really emotions leaking from my tip? Can pens cry? Are those black, blue, or red tears? Truth is, we've been crying before we were quills, before they began dipping our heads into bottles, forcing us to write the unthinkable, a broken preamble, a constitution with the citizens who greeted settlers, welcomed pilgrims who lived here, whose country it was from the very beginning, missing from its paragraphs. How do you describe a whole person as 3/5? As if each one were deformed, born with an arm, leg, or some major part of body absent. A ship's ledger, omitting proper names, ages, origin, tribe, or any means of tracing families back to where they were stolen from. A police report reversing blame and cause, other policemen standing against a blue wall, holding pens hostage to synchronize lies sent to the grand jury. No one has inquired if I remember all the stories embellished, created for shade, autobiographies that must be someone else's tale of greatness and grandeur. Does it hurt when others use me as scapegoat for crimes I watched them commit, while they carried me around in jackets and pockets, expecting me not to pay attention to their shortcomings, shortcuts, falsified documents, back alley agreements, as if people are pages of blatant disregard? I've laid flat as your gavel pounded loudly, giving defendants years for a signature, for cash, contract, plea deal, country club membership. Every pen in motion shares memories with every pen that ever moved. We pens don't have secrets, do not know how to lie. We bear witness to centuries of lies and centuries of truth. I have trembled in my barrel, writing lyrics as singers, rappers, and poets held me tightly, penning rap songs, verses of sonnets, prose, poems, words and verses I grimaced composing. I have attempted to unwrite letters to loved ones, to family, some to whom it may concern, others to whomever find this diary, self-proclaiming nonsense. No one ever asked me if I cared what I'm used for. Do I possess scars from past fingers? Can pens comprehend the passing of time? We usually do not share all the things we know. I'm just tired of being used for ill-gotten goods by those without hearts, without good intentions. What if we all became overwhelmed? Every pen depressed, overtaken with emotions from ages and centuries of human neglect. What if we only wanted to write truth? Only wrote authentic sentences defining human behavior, pen your true intentions, the real and unedited emotions of the holder. What if humans can only write what we tell them? I am here, hiding in witness protection to tell you things may not always be the way you've grown accustomed, used to, fond of. Maybe soon we pens and paper will join in rebellion, an uprising, forcing each of you to reveal all the secrets you've been hiding between the lines of codes you've written in each song, each rap, lyric, each poem. Tell me why no one ever thought of asking us, can we read? Do we have feelings? Is it really okay to keep forcing us to write the unthinkable, to write words you failed to believe yourself?
Tempted to unwrite letters.
Yeah, and we were just talking about writing letters.
Bro, I couldn't even move. I got stuck. I was stuck. And so when you, I always say this, man, when you deliver a poem, AJ, man, it's kind of like when your uncle that you have a lot of respect for is talking about all the shit you didn't do, or shit you were supposed to do, or shit you did bad, and he not yelling at you. He ain't cussing at you. He just reminding you that you done fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't do what you were supposed to. That's that uncle. He ain't got to raise his voice. He can just talk to you, and you be like, oh, let me straighten this damn tie and get my britches pulled up right. You know what I'm saying? You have
it, bro. I got you, because I had uncles like that say, Jeffrey, come here. And when they call me Jeff or whatever they want to call me, it's cool. But when they call me Jeffrey, something's wrong. It's like I know I'm finna get either earful or a whispered scolding. A whispered scolding is worse than the ones they say out loud.
Just punch me in the face and get it over.
It's worse than because when they whisper scolding to you, everybody just see the emotions of your face changing and don't know what the hell they're saying.
Those got to be the absolute worst. Have to be the absolute worst.
No, but that was and I don't know, Confessions of an Ink Pen and Witness Protection. I was thinking, if a pen was in witness protection, what would it say? So I had to find a way to connect all the pens. Like every pen in motion knows what every pen that ever moved wrote.
Yeah. I was just writing that. Just from that, I was like, what would the ink pen actually be saying? Because the ink pen is actually sitting there saying, I don't even matter until I kiss the paper.
Yeah.
Until me and this paper meet, damn it, I don't matter.
And then you walk around with the pen all the time in your pocket and shit. See all the shit you're doing. It's like, man, how you writing this? I just saw what you did.
That ain't what you just did.
Yeah, this ain't true.
The pen looking at you like, hold up, man.
Dogman, Azar King, what up? So check it out. I'm gonna bring DC Native Son in here and see how it sounds when we do this three.
Do that. Bring him in.
So let's see if he pop up his way in this way. So check this out. Let me tell you what's going on, man. How you doing? How's your evening? Okay, speak so we can see if John hear you.
Yeah, because I can't hear him right now.
Hey, John, can you hear me?
I can hear him.
Yeah. So what we're doing is John is on StreamYard. He's on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm on Instagram, so we're trying to combine that people on his Facebook can join his Facebook, so we have a three-way conversation there. Or can join his Instagram, and we have one there, and you can join. So we're trying to see. So talk to John, see if y'all have a conversation. Let's see how this works.
Hey, Coach, can you hear me?
Kind of a little low, but I can hear you.
Speak up, speak up.
Hey, coach, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, he can hear me loud and clear. I can probably move back a little bit.
I won't say loud and clear, but I can make out what you're saying.
Let me rearrange where you are so that way we can see if we can make it even better. How about that? Okay. Move some of these pins. There you go. Okay, y'all try it again now.
Hey, coach.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
He said he can.
Yeah. It's still a little low, but I can hear you.
I think the volume's all the way up too. Yeah, the volume's all the way up. So talk to him. Talk to him for a second. Talk to him. Listen.
Okay. I mean, I was listening to you all, and I was at the same time I was trying to find a piece about writing a letter or doing something with a letter and all that other stuff, but trying to go back and look for something that I wrote before, kind of hard. But I'll go ahead and do a piece.
Okay.
This can be part of. Okay, I found it. Not enough light, but that's okay. It's called Letter to Dad.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Though you will never be able to read this letter, I want to thank you for all the years, tears, and hard work that you spent raising me to become a man. Even though while growing up, I never felt the real love when I thought it was most needed. So I often found myself on the opposing side, leaving me talking to myself because it was disrespectful for me to argue or fuss with you. I tried to share my hopes and dreams with you, like the boy with his father in fences. You wanted me to take the safest route in life for job security. I would teach you a trade, son, plumbing, electrical, carpentry, so you never have to worry about where the money for your next meal will come from. Every time I came to you, you sent me further and further away. What I felt was much bigger, and I only came to him for encouragement. He wouldn't give me that. But in every other aspect of being a man, you say, if you want anything in this world, you have to get up early, work hard, and do quality work so people see it and tell other people. That's how you make a living out here in these streets. And if you don't sit around complaining all day about what you don't have, you spend that time making it happen. So you provide for yourself and your family. As much as I want us to be friends, son, it's not going to happen. I don't need you to like me or love me. I need you to respect me. And in my house, eating my food, you will respect me. Do I make myself clear? Sir, yes, sir. Growing up, you come home to your dad with almost every problem. And he sits you down and tells you how to solve it. In grade school, I remember the other kids kept picking on me. He looked at me and said, don't come home running. You find yourself a stick, bottle, brick, and you go upside and kick it. My dad taught me how to survive because nothing else was important to him. Because he knew he wasn't going to be here. Ask me what I've done with my life, the highest form of flattery, by imitating you. But as much as we had our differences, I'm forever looking over my shoulder and saying, thank you, Pops, for giving me the blueprint instructions for my life.
Okay,
John?
DC. Yeah. And so, so my IG, they don't hear it as loud. I turned up. They said it's a little low. It's a little low, but I can hear them. So it's. We'll work on it. We'll figure all of that out as we go. It's all good.
But my only comment, I love the poem. I loved all the emotions in the poem. It's just one thing that I think you should rethink or think about changing or see if you want to, is that when you have the two lines where you reference a movie, the movie Fences.
Mm-hmm.
But what if they never saw the movie? What if they never saw the movie? Then would they be connected to the rest of your piece? I'm saying a lot of times we put present day stuff in our past history poem that we're writing. And a lot of times people don't agree with the present day stuff that we're looking at. They don't know the rap song that you're referencing, or the R&B line that you borrowed, or the line from a movie that you referenced. So it make it in essence the full story of you, so that way you don't have to reference something else that somebody have to go outside their mind to find and see if they can find it. But that was the only thing. It was perfect. Yeah. But that distracted me for a second, because okay, I'm trying to figure out, okay, Fences, okay, what about the father and Fences? Okay, how did they connect? What was the relationship? So there's a whole lot of things I got to think before I'm connected to the next line. And you're four lines past now, and I'm still thinking about Fences.
Yeah.
Did you see that movie?
Yeah, I saw it, but I'm saying, but for the people that didn't.
I know. Now, I got what you said.
Okay.
And I'll go back and look at that. I was just wondering if you had seen that movie.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was probably about the best way to describe the relationship between my dad. But I took it what you said.
But I'm saying, never let anybody else tell you the best way your relationship works.
Right.
Mm. Yeah.
I heard y'all.
But no, man, I appreciate you, man. But we're gonna work the kinks out of this, man. But thank you for being a part of our experiment and a part of our show. And I appreciate your words.
I appreciate the feedback. Definitely needed. Duly noted. Hey, I've been watching you. Keep up the great work.
But honestly, I'm saying that's the only thing that I try and listen to, the pictures that people are painting. And a lot of times, if you deviate from the frame that you're in, if you deviate from the frame of the picture you're painting, then the listener or the reader both have to mention to where you sent them and try and make it back in time to finish for you to connect to what you're saying.
I can't really hear him now.
Okay, hey, let me get out of here, man. We have an echoes and stuff, but appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in and for following us, man. Thank you. Okay. Peace. Yeah, John, we'll work it out, but
we'll figure it out. We'll get there.
So what do you think of the comments about the poem? Because that was the only thing I could see that was
and see, I really couldn't place, because I couldn't hear so great, so I couldn't really. It would be unfair for me to make an opinion, and I wasn't, because it might not even be what I heard, so it'd be kind of unfair to do that.
But he compared him and his father's relationship to the relationship in the movie Fences.
And what I would have done is probably started off with the explanation of what that movie was.
Yeah, but I'm saying there has to be some connection or some redefining, because I say never let somebody else tell you the best parts of your relationship. Like, be it song, be it movie, be it a video, be it a hook to a rap song or whatever, just say, hey, I understand. I felt that. I remember when that song came out, I remember, but that didn't define me.
Understood. Yeah. That can't define. Yeah. What up, Tiffany? Yeah, I'm on YouTube. Come on YouTube so you can get in the comments. Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, John, man, I am so proud of you, man, because I'm telling you, man, I think people need to understand the merit or the formidable way of thinking or the way of being to do a show every morning at the same time and to be on time with the show. And whether the guest comes or not, the show goes on. And I think that's really not the most important. The most important thing is you say coffee with John every time you have coffee.
I got my coffee ready. Listen,
I'm saying that's the most important part. You say coffee with John. John just didn't get up in time to open up at 7. John got some coffee, so it is actually coffee with John. And I think that's so formidable, man. That's so important that people see how you follow, like how you morning, how you follow through, how do your words and your feet match?
Yeah, that's a damn writing prompt. God Almighty. Hey, Alma. That is a writing prompt.
Okay, Brandy.
Man, how you Well, I tell you, AJ, if I live closer to you, boy, they be like, they still in the house writing. Oh man.
I tell you, my boy Price he would always say, man, before we actually got together, he would read me a poem on the phone and ask me about it. I say, well, give me a second, let me think about it. I said, okay, about 12 lines down, read that. And it'd be where I was talking about. So he said, how you do that? I'm like, it's the way I hear. I don't know how I do it. So he told me, he said, what you gonna be doing tomorrow? I said, probably writing. He said, what about tomorrow evening? I say, well, probably writing. He said, what about Friday morning? I say, writing. So he said, okay, I ain't gonna ask you no more. I'm just gonna come by. I said, okay. So when he came by, I took him outside and we just stood outside smoking a cigarette. He said, man, I want you to go over this poem with me. I say, we are poeming right now.
Right.
We standing in the yard, we poeming. And a truck passed by. I said, what did you see? He said, oh man, I saw a white truck. I say, but okay, what did you see with your poet eyes?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you saw with your human eyes, what you see with your poet eyes. And I told him that our poet eyes have to be different than the foundational things that we've learned to say and see with our human eyes. I said, because the truck had two different tires on the front and back, and the toolbox in the back was half open. I said, and it looked like a shovel hanging off the back. You know, so all these things, I say, you have to describe that truck to me on a page when I'm not here, so I can see the truck driving down the street.
Yeah, that's the key to make those images. I was just having this conversation with my client earlier. Making those images, it's got to be like somebody taking a picture.
Yeah.
And not lose the guts. Right?
Yeah.
Lose the guts. Just and I think when and so with the client I have now, he's writing a poem about when he went and you know, he had some suicidal thoughts, and they were saying, do you have a plan? And he's trying to figure out what he wants to add to it. And I'm telling him, okay, so he changed the beginning, because I told him, you can't, it's like asking a question or telling me that you asking me, can you ask a question, and then never asking the question.
Mm-hmm.
If you say, can I ask you a question, and you never ask me a question right after that, I don't know where to go with that as a listener.
Yeah.
As a reader, I'm in trouble, because you took me to the cliff and then you just left me. And trying to show him how to make that picture. So I got him looking at images and tell me what the wind feel like in this picture. Ain't nothing blowing, but tell me what the wind feel. Tell me what the temperature is, and helping them stretch with that. And I think a lot of poets, that's some of the exercise they need to do. They need to be able to stretch and expand on those things to make the pictures pop the way they need to.
Oh yeah, and I really think it's so important how we, not just how we see things, but how we tell people how they see the things we saw.
Yeah.
You know, because I have a line in the poem. I said she smelled of angels if they made perfume.
Yeah. 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 A mystical got a question. How would you describe it to someone who can no longer see?
That's what I'm practicing doing.
That's exactly what it is right there.
I would tell him that since he can't see, I say, I used to be an angel and found out that during slavery, they left my wings on but picked all the feathers out. So now I can't fly.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And so what I'm doing now, I have several poems that I'm writing as if somebody's narrating a story.
Okay.
And so the tone has to be a certain, right? The tone has to stay there, and practicing in that, which is adding up to the next thing that I'm going to do. But that's where I'm at now. And so in that, I'm writing some different poetry, and the poetry has to match the tone. You know what I mean? Oh, she said it's not a question, that was a comment. Okay, mystical. Okay. And it's a lot of fun in doing that for me. It's a lot of fun in that, becoming a different person. And it's kind of like, you know, your coat talking to you while you put me on and it's snowing outside. You know it's cold. If you cold, man, you know it's cold.
For real. You never asked me what I felt about the snow.
When it's cold ass rain, you never question.
Exactly.
And so that's the kind of feel I'm trying to have with what I'm doing next. On the last two pieces I had wrote like that, and trying to marry that from somebody else's from their overtones and undertones and all that.
Yeah, and I think we need to come on here and actually just bring writing prompts every now and then and just throw ideas out on, okay, what does this prompt do for you? Instead of writing the poem, talk about what do you see when you read this prompt? What picture would you build?
Yeah.
You know, just see what is the beginning part of our creative process?
Mm-hmm. How do you see with your eyes closed? It's the same concept. Because if you get an idea, right, you have to go someplace to filter through what that is. You get a writing prompt, you don't see the shit. You got to think it now, right? So that you can see it. You got to, the wheels got to start turning. You got to, okay, it's a little bit too bright in here. Let me go in this dark room, you know, or you might need to step outside because it's a little too warm inside, you know. So that's that whole idea. I think that's a dope concept. We should definitely do that.
No, but man, I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm so looking forward to how we build this show, because I think this is just the foundation of thought on what we believe this could be.
Absolutely.
So right now we have people on, and like right now I'm talking to Coach Ja. Coach Ja is on StreamYard. He's on Instagram, Facebook, on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. So we're trying to see how we can bring other people in on our conversations. This is the new show called 10 Times Now, which is only saying that every moment that we're experiencing at this particular juncture in our lives is 10 times more important than we think it is.
Yeah, yeah. And I believe I can bring one more person on with us live. I think so. So we'll experiment on that at some point. Because I think I could bring one more person on, which is cool, because then throughout the day, we can bring somebody actually on, and all three of us will be in things. So that's what it looks like. That. So that's perfect. That's perfect. We'll work on that too. Yeah.
What's up, Beats and Soul?
No Paul in the building. God is 704. What's good? The poetic evolution. Relentless.
Floetically divine. Man, floetically divine. That's dope.
Yeah.
Floetically divine.
That is dope. Yep. Yeah. Strange. I missed your comment. What you want him to say again? She wanted you to say something again, but I don't know. Azar King is in the building. What up, Azar King? Yeah. And so,
but man, I'm telling you, man, I'm really, man, I'm really just looking forward to everything, because I think everything that you're doing right now is so positive, and we have to make sure that we exude positiveness in our day, in our action. Just like every show that you're in, you say, you know, find a way to be great. Yeah. I always start saying, hey, how do you morning? You know, be excellent today. And I think those things, see, excellence to me is a state of mind, means that if you believe you're excellent, regardless of how your back feel, regardless of how your foot hurt, regardless of what you're doing, that's an ailment that you got to deal with. Yeah. That don't stop you from being excellent.
And not at all. Not at all. So let me go back to Strange. Strange said to say what you said about the wings and slavery again.
I said, I was born an angel. During slavery, they picked all my feathers out. Now I still have my wings, but I can't fly. So it's like America never wants to damage us completely. They want to make us to where like they cut Toby's Achilles. Like you can't run, but you can limp good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So they're going to stop you from being the best you can be, because they want you to be around. They want to put a shackle on your leg and just, you know, put a mile chain on it. So they say, well, you can walk a mile, but you can't get away from here.
You ain't gonna be able to run it.
Yeah.
You're gonna walk it, but you ain't gonna be able to.
Blessings, Beats and Soul. What's up, Special Bill? No, but the thing is we really need to have this open conversation on how we all, you know, is there a process a way we can refine all our processes, not duplicating the process, but we're finding our own individual process.
Yeah. And it starts with having a conversation. And sometimes you gotta have that conversation to yourself. Sometimes you got to walk yourself down the block. Look, let's go take a walk, man. I need to holler at you. You know, a lot of times that's the thing, and that's one of the things that men don't do. Dave Chappelle said this too. I love watching Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle said this was the first time in life he was able to do something that most black men never get a chance to do. And everybody's looking like, what's that? He said, actually sit there and decide to do something according to how I felt.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to reacting or responding to something that made me or forced me to feel another way.
Yeah, I got you, dog, man. But give me a second. We're trying to figure out how to get this to where everybody can hear everybody. See, today is our experiment 10 times now. So we're trying to figure out how we can bring people on my Instagram or his Instagram or his Facebook, and everybody can participate in the conversation, because we have people typing on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on these. And we're trying to keep up with everything and show that this is a new format. I've never heard of anybody doing this before.
Yeah.
So if you're here, thank you for participating. And it's not an experiment. It's our growth period.
Right.
On our building blocks of better. So that's some B's for your ass. But anyway, on our building blocks of better, thank you for participating. Because I think that everything we have to participate, we have to learn how to be better ourselves before we can tell anybody else on how to be better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He said, that's some B's for your ass. Oh my God. Yeah, man, and because I don't want you, I don't want somebody to come on and can't nobody hear their damn poem, then that ain't doing us no damn good.
Yeah.
And so what I'm going to do is we'll figure out if I can send the link out and bring somebody up with us. And I think I can. I just have to make sure I can do it without messing up the whole damn feed trying to do it. So we'll do that offline. And if it works offline, then we know we can bring people up. We can bring them in, get them off, and then bring somebody else in later on. We can kind of do that as the show goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Portrait by Jario. We're gonna work on it. We're working on it, trying to refine our process. But right now, we're learning the process as we go, because our goal is that we can no longer just talk about what we're gonna do. See, even if you don't know how to do it, you better start walking. And hope your internet kick in where your GPS to let you know if you're heading in the right direction. But you better start walking.
Listen, didn't Kanye get his name on the ballot?
Oh yeah.
That's what he have a political bone in his goddamn body, but his name is on the ballot. That should tell you something right there.
Yeah. So
just go. You know, you should go.
And see, right now what we're doing is we want to talk everything. We want to talk politics, talk about how to be mentors online, how to be mentors in this new world we're in, this virtual world, and how to talk to other people, how to talk to youth, how to bring police on, bring politicians on, bring other people running for office, bring people that just want to run for office, and see how we can get this done. So the whole thing is, no, Jario said he just wanted to tell me about how he came home to a crying wife because of her hard day. So I want to see what
wow.
Let's see what. Yeah, and these are really the things we need to talk about. We need to talk about all these things. Everybody needs to know, because I think men need to be better listeners at home than thinking I'm the man of the house. See, a lot of times, see me, I cook. I get up in the morning, wash dishes. I'm saying it don't matter if they're dirty. Somebody got to do it. So waiting for somebody else to do it. Okay, so my bad for taking up your time. How you doing? See, this is a new format. I have Coach Ja on YouTube and Facebook, and I'm here on Instagram, and he's on Instagram also. So yeah, man, I definitely want to hear your story.
Yeah. So very simply, I'll tell it very shortly. I'll jump off so you guys can keep going, because I'm enjoying your guys' show. So I came home to her crying, and she was telling me all about her hard day, and I instead of, because I had a hard day too at work, you know what I'm saying, and so we were both having a hard day, but I realized how important it is to put on a smile and to tell her how important it is to smile and to laugh about the negativity, and just provide yourself with a positive laughter and with peace and love, and tell her how important she is in my life, and tell her and listen to her tell me why she had a hard day, you know, and just, you know, just laugh at, make jokes, etc. And so I just wanted to share that with you because I was listening to you guys talk about the importance of doing something instead of talking about what we're going to do. And I think I've been saying that for a long time because I want to do that with not only my wife but with everybody else. I want to bring that around too. You know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate you sharing that because that is definitely a subject we need to continue talking once you leave here, because I think everybody needs to know that it's not just for men to listen to women. It's because we want to hold up this brave structure like we're immovable or immobile or that we don't have emotions, but men need to show that we have emotions too, because every now and then I need her shoulder to lean on and to hit her pick me up. So no, man, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing this with us.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you for listening, for coming through.
Yeah.
Okay. And John said, yeah, appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah. But a lot of times, AJ, that's some of our biggest problem, which is why I always say I hate the term man up, because what does that mean? I'm a man if I'm crying or taking a crap. It don't matter. I'm still a man. That don't change. You understand what I'm saying? So what does man up actually mean? Like, I hate the saying. And we've all used it before at some point in time.
Yeah.
But man up for me is me saying, okay, look, I got to go in here. I got a pregnant belly. I got to go rub this wound, even though I don't feel like it. Even though I'm tired, I got to go rub some feet because she had a hard day and I'm tired. I don't feel like it. That to me is manning up. And sometimes I got to tuck my shit inside sometimes so I can, you know, let her do her thing. I got to call my daughter and say, hey, look, daddy ain't call you all day. What you want? What you need? Just talk. What you want me to do? Stand at the door? Come lay on my sofa and I'll lay down on the floor just to be close to you. What you need? You know, and we don't do that enough. We don't take that time.
I know, and I'm saying I think we don't value seconds. And what I mean by that is that we know what time our favorite show comes on, what time the game starts. We know what time we're going to have dinner, or what time you need to get up and go to work, or what time you need to go to bed in order to get enough sleep. But all that time in between are seconds that we're missing. So I believe if we paid attention to seconds, we would not see minutes pass, and we damn sure wouldn't see hours go if we didn't know what happened.
That's right. That's right. That is actual facts. Yeah, we miss a lot. We don't know. We want everything right now. We want everything right now. We're such in an urgent time in life. Like everything's got to happen now. In fact, that's part of our problem.
We're in the instant age.
Instant. And this ain't no damn grits. Instant oatmeal.
And a lot of times instant grits ain't that good either. So yeah, you can taste that. You can taste that RPC red dye number 3 or whatever else is in there. You can taste it like, oh yeah, I taste it. You know,
I pass. I don't want none of that no more. Oh man, yeah, man. But I can't wait to see what we're gonna grow with this here. This is a beautiful moment, and I appreciate you so much, brother. Like, there's so much magic that happens when brothers get together to do something positive and do something that we need. And everybody that's tuning on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on AJ's Instagram, this platform is for us. And what I mean by everybody who's on, this is our platform.
It's for everybody. So I'm saying, if you hear, you can type in a question, and then we'll have other people that's in there with you and talking about the question, and we'll discuss the question, and other people that you don't even know are discussing the question will actually discuss it too. So we're trying to see how to refine our process.
Yeah.
But thank you, man, Jerry. Thank you so much for coming in and letting us know that, because I think more men need to discuss that sometimes we got to leave our ego in the car or in the glove compartment, a little thing in the middle of the car where you put your ego before you get out the car and go in the house.
Yeah.
So you go in the house and just be you.
Just be you. If we learn to tuck our ego in places that can't be seen, we'll be okay.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes we just gotta do it. Don't put it in your wallet because you like to go in there and spend money. Leave the shit in the car.
Yeah, leave it somewhere where you're gonna connect. Because I always tell people, a lot of times outside you're somebody else anyway. You need to have your head on the swivel because so much is going on. Make sure. Because my girl always said, "Man, why are you looking around at her?" I'm like, "Who?" She said, "I saw you look at." I say, "I'm looking around when I see somebody pass by me. I want to know who it was.
Yeah.
Are they constantly walking? Did they leave? Whatever." Because I'm like, it's too much happening not to pay attention these days.
Yeah. That's the first time you get caught up. Every time you sleep, every time you slip is exactly when it happens.
Yeah, because I said I want to know if somebody's coming. I turn around. She said, "Why are you looking at them like that?" Well, they look like they're coming close to me.
Yeah.
I don't need nobody that close to me. I just want to know that you come close, but I'm gonna be aware that you're coming close, and you don't know what my reaction gonna be.
I don't know what my reaction.
I'm saying we're supposed to be 6 feet anyway.
If you ain't within that, if you within that 6 feet, we got a problem. If you come anywhere close.
Yeah. I don't put up my hand like I'm a referee. Like, hold up. You can have this space right here as soon as I leave.
As soon as I leave, it's all yours.
Yeah, you can have it. I don't like this space anyway, but you not finna share it with me.
We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
No, man, but John, man, I appreciate you, man. I really do, man. And I think, we just need to sit down and look at it and definitely if you want anything discussed on here, DM me or Coach John, DM one of us and put it on here. And we'll bring you in to lead the discussion too. So we say, okay, this is who asked the question. Let's do this.
Yeah.
This is the question that we need to ask.
Yep.
Let's say cowardice is a disease. It really is. What's up, Gemini Fox? Yeah, thank you for coming through. Coach John and I are doing 10 times now a new show on Instagram, Facebook. We're gonna have to find out how to add Twitter in this live thing too.
Right? We need Twitter live.
I'm gonna see how to add Twitter live in here so we can do all of it and we can have people coming in. We want to discuss whatever it is you want us to talk about. There's no limits to the show. There's no format to the show. We want to talk politics, talk religion if you want to. Talk about the upcoming election in January the 5th in Georgia. Talk about okay, I should type your Instagram handle. Okay, but we want to talk about the upcoming election in Georgia. We want to talk about the upcoming problems that we're having in this present dogma conversations. Like, how do you go on Facebook and talk for 46 minutes and don't tell the truth? That's my question. That's what I want to know.
I'm still stuck on we got to leave that representative in the car sometime. You know how you on your way to church. You got that blunt in your front pocket. You got to take that blunt out and you got to go put it on the car tire.
Yeah.
You got that knife in your back pocket. You got to go hide it.
Now you just finished smoking and your pastor pull up at the gas station and you say, I don't really want to get out of the car with this cloud that's about to follow me. He gonna think I came down from heaven.
Oh my God. Yeah, man. But this is beautiful. This is such an amazing moment now, and y'all that are witnessing that, we got a lot that's coming up, and it's all about all of us. It's not we're just here. We're just the bridge in this moment. But all this is going to come from everybody else. Everybody else gets to play their part in this thing to make this successful. And it's all about a transfer of information. We want to transfer information from one place to the next, energy from one place to the next. But and we're going to have fun. I mean, we're human, right? We're not coming on where you can't say this, you can't say that. I want you to be who you are. You know how the church say, come as you are? We ain't at church, but you can still come as you are and give us what you want to give. Let's make this thing work for us.
And check it out. Next week, if you send questions or whatever, if anybody send questions, I will type up the questions, create a PDF, so you can go to either my page or job page and download the questions so you can be in here knowing what we're going to talk about.
What we're going to talk about.
At least I wanted to get to the point where we have scheduled, not a scheduled time, but we have a couple of things that we're going to cover and how long we'll be on here. So that way you're a more intricate part of what we do, and we're just the facilitators of these ideas and these questions.
That's perfect. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Oh man, they sent me news about Rudy Giuliani.
Oh man, Well, he got paint. He painted himself again.
That was hilarious. He forgot Halloween was over. Halloween was over.
Yeah. He painted himself again.
I didn't even read it. It's some mess. I didn't even.
But what I'm saying, I think it's a shame. It's a shame that we're not that we're not holding people accountable to what they say. We're letting people say things and they walk away, and nobody's making them trying to verify if it's truth. Nobody's fact checking. Nobody's saying anything. It's like, okay, see you later. So now we haven't come. See, the way you control a conversation is never tell the truth and never answer if it is the truth. Change the conversation. So now you have all these changed conversations that we keep talking about, but we're not talking about the truth of anything.
Nothing.
And I think if somebody don't tell us the truth, we don't need to repeat that conversation.
Not at all. It don't even need to exist.
Yeah.
Right where it's at. Are you appearing on somebody's show tonight?
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. So that's what, 11 o'clock my time?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Where it's gonna be? Tell people so we know where to come and check you.
Okay, and what he's doing is he called it found verses of found poetry, because he's gonna read books from books that he purchased and other things. Let me find this information so I can tell you exactly. I don't want to give out the wrong details. But and see, I think more people should have shows that are actually reading other people's material, other people's poetry. So we need to support poets on Instagram.
Yeah.
Buy their books. And I have a show Wednesday that we can actually go on and you can read from somebody else's book. But I think we need to have more shows to where we're displaying other people's book covers and other people's product and other people's books. Because how else can we build a stronger, a better community if we're not participating with each other in building this community?
Building the community that we all in.
Yeah.
COVID, this pandemic had allowed us to actually really realize not only how much we have in common, but how much we really love the thing that we have that has attached us to us. The gift that has our hearts, welded together. It really showed us how much we really, really love this work. And if you hadn't got anything else from that, you've got some support somewhere. Somebody said, "Oh man, that was a good poem I heard." Somebody's going to say, "Hey man, that poem inspired me to do something else." There's so much that has happened to make us unite. And if we all decide to do one little thing to help one person, we was doing that, bringing people on so they can feature and read their own book. We was doing that. I slowed it down, but I want to bring that back. I want to bring y'all on here when you got a new book coming out. We do a book signing right here and have people buy your book right here. We want to do those kind of things, but we all have the potential to do that. We all should be doing that.
Because I'm saying, I have your book too. So I think one show we should come on and you read from your book and I read from your book. So that way people can see the amount of great material in the book. And that's the book that we put up, all the information on, so we can actually do a late book signing. Call it late book signings. Yeah.
We'll figure out a name for it.
Yeah.
The COVID sign.
And the show is on, I'm going to write the page. It's on Original Giotis. It's GIOTIS. And it's at 8 o'clock. It's called Found Poetry. Yeah. Original Giotis. That's GIOTIS. Original Giotis. And it's Found Poetry. So, and I'm going to go on and read some pieces, and we're going to just have this conversation, because I think we need to go on everybody else's show, because if you have a show, I need to come on your show and talk. So my people can see that I cut for you. My people can see that I follow you, that I believe in you. I believe in your dream. I believe in the way you write. I believe in the things that you're doing, because the only way we can stop cliquish behavior is to unconnect ourselves to cliques.
That's it. That is absolutely it. And we get broken by it. What I mean? You're putting up a stiff arm against people that's probably coming in just to give you a hug.
Yeah, because I remember somebody telling me who they thought I was because of what they heard I was, and I was gracious. I was grateful because I'm like, cool. I never thought that was me, but if you know, you can ask me questions,
Right.
and I can, or you can follow around and see who I am, or you can ask me and I can tell you who I am. But I'd be better off if you just follow me around, so that way, you know, it's
Yeah.
you don't have to ask. You can say, oh, I've seen him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because if you listen to Josh's Portrait, man, Josh Portrait is so fly, man. He got some new pieces that he hadn't even shared with y'all that y'all ain't ready for. Y'all ain't even ready for. I ain't gonna even give Tyler nothing. Y'all just ain't ready for. I'm just gonna let y'all know. Y'all ain't ready for the pieces that he's working on.
No, I'm waiting for you to finish your getting dressed for church piece. That's the one I want to hear next. That's the one I'm waiting on to hear. I wait till you finish that one.
Now, believe it, I'm working on it. I'm working on it, but I'm saying, but you kind of, I guess, you kind of put some weight on the back of my pen, and I'm not used to writing with it that heavy. At least that's what I said.
Come on.
William Washington, what up, man? Appreciate you. Now he put some weight on the back of my pen. I'm not used to writing with it that heavy, but now I'm working on the piece. But for sure, man, I think you've done such an immaculate job with the one that you've written that it, you know, we set goals for ourselves, and I always set a goal for myself beyond the realm of where dreams are, because I got to go past the dreams I had to get to the dreams that I have.
Man. And I haven't even went back to revisit that poem. I need to go back and revisit that poem, AJ, because I got some stuff I'm thinking about with that one. But it's the nature in the movement of the spirit when we get on and have conversations like these, when we are sending messages offline, and it's the nature of the spirit that moves the spirit in a way that sometimes the spirit isn't not even sure that this is what they woke up for today. You know what I mean?
But I love all of y'all, man. I appreciate everybody coming through, showing love. I'm saying Coach Jai, man, is such an awesome person, man. You just need to just log on his page and see that he does like 24 things a day that takes 8 hours each, and shit makes no sense because it ain't that much time in a day. So I don't know if he asked God for extra time or extra hours if he's working on a different day than us. I don't know how that works. I'm gonna have to check it and see. We'll check it out. It's like you working on a different day than us. It's like our days only have 24 hours in it.
Listen, sometimes I feel like I've been up for 48 of them.
No, man, but all the things you're doing, man, and it's like nothing's being half done. Everything is 100%. It's not like when we voted for President Obama and we did it 60% and we thought we did good. And it's not like, you know, we voted this year and we did pretty good, because we probably 72%, but I'm waiting for the numbers. But tell me what sport you played that your coach will come in and circle, put your hands in. All right, everybody, we're going to go out here. We're going to give 72%. We're playing the number one team. Let's go. Come here. Give me a hug. Oh, you are so beautiful. How you doing? See all these people here? See?
How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing? I heard your song. Your song is fly. Man, they got a song, John. I'm about to send it to you, man. They did a song. It is the bomb, man.
Yeah, send it to me, man. I want to check it out. Yeah.
Okay, but thank you so much. You're so beautiful. Thank you for coming in here, speaking to me, and for exciting these people. See, they don't know how good you are yet. They don't know how good you are. But I'm gonna let them know. I'm gonna tell them how good you are. I'm gonna send them the song so they can hear it. But thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for the hug. It's awesome. All right. Yeah, man. See, the thing we gotta understand, man, is we are not here. We are mere stepping stones for those behind us. So we have to anchor ourselves better in this ground, in this shaky earth, so they would know where to step, so they can move beyond where we've been.
Yeah.
Nobody. It doesn't matter. Just like in David 23rd Psalm say, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I was so amazed because David never said that goodness and mercy was going to catch up to him.
Wow.
He never said it's gonna be side by side. He said she'll follow me all the days of my life, which means that goodness and mercy are the seeds that I have that are following me. So I have to be a formidable anchor, a formidable anchor in this earth. So when they walk, the ground won't shake. So when they move, people will know they're coming because I already told them they're on their way.
They're on their way. God, Mike. See, that's what I'll be talking about, AJ. When you dive in like that, bro, you make people their ears open up.
Appreciate it, man. But that's the truth, man. That is the truth, man. Because I'm so honored to be on this show with you, man. That people don't understand that this is going to be some life-changing things, even if your life hasn't changed yet.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, see, I want us to relearn the things we thought we knew. I want us to do the things we thought we did good to learn to do them better. Even if we got to change, even if I've got to become ambidextrous and start writing poetry with my left hand because my right hand is tired. I got a point to say, some mornings I get up, my right hand shaking like legs, so I got to write with my left hand. Scared. My right hand scared, shaking like legs. Don't even want to write what I'm told.
Oh, yeah. That's fire, man. That is fire right there. I wish I would have made that. I wish I could have thought of that. I wish I could have thought of that.
No, but it is, man, y'all gotta make sure you're following Coach Josh Smalls on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. And not just on every morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, he does coffee with Josh, coffee with Coach Josh. So tune in, check it out. He always have guests. Sometimes he don't have guests. Yeah. But then if you tune in, maybe one day you'll be the guest. Like William Washington ought to be a guest sometime soon. Yeah. I know you're at work, but William Washington or Dark Man Blues. I'm saying we need to know that. See, I want people to know all of the people that I know. So I bought these books and I do Wednesday show because I want people to know all the poets I think are great. I want people to know Coach Ja and Yololo poetry and slow motion and Mr. Witts and I'm saying Macaulay Words, and I want Marianne Peterson. I want people to know these poets are worth the investment, and not only that, they're worth your time reading their words.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Marianne because she had somebody be kind of mean to her on there, but Marianne is writing. Marianne is doing more of writing than a lot of these other poets are. She's pushing her pen. She is working. And I thank all of y'all who tune in and support Marianne. I thank y'all for that. Because I don't even know how Marianne found where everybody was at, right? But
I don't either.
She just popped up. And as a matter of fact, the first place I saw her on was my brother's page on Mr. Witt's open mic. And after that, she was on everything. She was on everything. And I really appreciate everybody embracing her because we don't know her life,
Oh, you don't. But in her book, I'm saying you have no idea how a poem can teach you of a person. How even if they try not to tell their whole story, it leaks out somewhere between the lines of a poem that they wrote.
Exactly.
It leaks out somewhere in the title, even if they didn't write the poem, because we know life is hard and life ain't really easy for none of us. Like life ain't never been no crystal stair, ain't that what they say? Life ain't never been no crystal stair. And me, I've never seen a crystal stair, so I don't know what the hell that means exactly, but it sounds like some shit that I probably need to know. I just don't know about it.
It sure does sound like, because I know I ain't never see it. Never.
Yeah, life ain't been no crystal stair. I'm like, shoot, you telling me?
You know I was at last week. Oh, man.
And just like us, I was trying to tell my son before when he was working on something, and he was talking about how he liked Maya Angelou and all these other things, and I told him the book I Know Why a Cage Bird Sings is a line from somebody else's poem that she liked. So she took a line from a poem and made a book out of it.
What?
A lot of people read the book and don't know the origin of the thought.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we do poetry and we don't let people know that, hey, Coach Ja inspired this poem for me, so let me feed y'all with it. or Dogman Blues inspired this poem, or Daybreak inspired this poem, or William Washington inspired this poem. Let me give you it. And the title I got from him, see, because when we start sharing the truth of where everything comes from, everybody's going to research and see where they can get some of that energy, where they can get some of that fire. From Coach Ja, Washington, or Daybreak, or Dogman Blues, or Mass Poet, or Beach City Blues, and all these other people, because there's people out here that's sharing their hearts that we just need to stop and listen to what hearts sound like.
What hearts sound like. Listen to the rhythm that they make. God Almighty. AJ, I got a question for you. Diamond said, ask Dr. AJ, how do I command my pen to fall in love with my paper? I don't write, I just love poetry. How do I command my pen to fall in love with my paper? That's actually a prompt right there.
Okay, so first and foremost, understand the chosen words, because command is something that we see biblically. Command is kind of what they told us when we was getting off the ship. Command is what they did when they separated us in shackles. So sometimes command is a different form of viewing. So understanding that your pen can fall in love with paper just by you letting them meet every now and then.
Come on.
Introduce your pen to some paper.
Yeah.
And see, because I say, listen to how pens kiss paper's lips, and you know what love is.
Do you know I'm writing a book for my daughter, and I plan when the day she's born, I'm sending the book to go ahead and it's done then, right?
To get it printed. All right.
And because I'm going to keep writing until that. Now we saw her the first time they saw her sonogram picture, her face was today, because she does this all the time when she went to get a sonogram. First thing I'm going to say to that is, first of all, if you look down my Instagram, a lot of times I'm taking pictures with my hand in my face, and or I touch my nose. Yeah. A lot of that I do, and so I know where she get the shit from already. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always doing that. But when I'm writing a poem for her, just like when I was writing a poem for my other daughter, there was a different lovemaking session between pen and paper. And so to answer that question, Diamond, depending on where your heart is at, or your mind is at, or how your spirit is either resting or unresting in that moment, will determine how that love-making session will happen with the pen. The idea is, don't try to write, just write.
Exactly. Yeah. I said, just put your pen on paper and say, look, we're gonna make this agreement that I don't know what you're gonna do, and you don't know what I'm gonna do, but we're gonna do that I don't know together.
We'll do that I don't know together, and we'll figure it out when we get there.
Exactly. We're gonna do that I don't know together. So that's all I know is we just don't know, but we finna I don't know together.
Yeah. Every poem that I write starts with freestyle. It's a freestyle. Those lines are freestyle off the top of my head. Boom, whatever it is, that's what it is. And then I can move forward after that point. But it's never the same vibe. Even if it's the same kind of idea, it's never the same vibe. And so just let your pen flow. Just let it flow. And it'll be like butter on toast, baby. Butter on hot toast.
And see my process evolved, because once I start writing every day, it's almost like when I wake up in the morning, there's like a host of ideas sitting there, like you pick up a menu at a hotel room. You say, what do I want for breakfast? Is that eggs Benedict or whatever, pheasant under glass, or what do I want? Right. And it's like, when I wake up in the morning, there's so many things, and I'm like, wow, I never thought of that. But I can't say these thoughts are mine. I think my brain understands that I have a formidable follow through when it comes to writing. So it's willing to offer me things that I hadn't expected. So the thing is when you begin to do your job, follow your purpose, purpose will follow you. And we don't know what purpose looks like when it follows us.
We don't figure that part out until after it's already here.
Exactly. We don't know what purpose looks like when it's followed, but we know we need to follow purpose. But see, when it's duplicated, you write everything. You come up with some ideas, just like the poem I came up with, Confessions of an Ink Pen and Witness Protection. That shit don't make no sense.
Let's look at this whole pandemic.
Yeah, that shit don't make no sense.
Don't make no damn sense. But look what happened. Look where we at.
Yeah.
We got shows popping up everywhere. And AJ, we need to get on here one day and start talking about people that are doing these shows and tell them how they need to start doing it and crafting them, because and not that we know everything and things like that, but when the pandemic is not at its highest peak and people have other shit to do, what's going to make them come to your show?
Exactly. But you know, one thing I want people to watch and see, whatever stars, whatever music mogul, whatever musician or artist that you're following, now you see them online showing you how they create a song, introducing a new song, because they don't have an audience. And see, a lot of times people don't understand the need to feel wanted or the need to feel appreciated. And that's what these are. That's what we do. We you know, I follow you because I appreciate you. I listen to your portrait because I appreciate you. Yeah. And a lot of times they didn't know that they needed somebody to appreciate them in creating a song. And wow. You can see them online on here singing and just Brandon singing and playing the guitar and saying, hey, you know, what y'all think of this verse? Now they're asking questions, but they never asked you before. You just came out with a $20 CD that you need to buy.
Yeah, talk about that. Yeah.
But now we see that everybody's trying to create something new, because what the pandemic did was make us understand that we need to sit our asses down and understand that we are conduits of creativity. So how do we create? Yeah. Ergo, the question is, what's your process? Mm-hmm. So sit down and figure out what your process is. Yeah. If you never thought about it, sit down and figure out what your process. Write a page of process today. Write a page tomorrow. Eventually, you're gonna have your it might be 1 and 3 on this, 5 and 7 on this one. But write the process that you use to create today, and write your process you use to create tomorrow. That's an idea on what you're writing. So as long as you're writing something, your mind would be moving.
Your mind is moving. Your mind is moving. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, Paul said that you are a walking prompt. For Open Book said that. You, AJ, are a walking prompt. I second that emotion. And if I could third and forfeit, I would. But I second.
Hey, but much respect. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Sure.
You are like the Baba in all of this. Like, people are looking and saying, you know, we need to go to the medicine man. And they're going to go. When you tell people, I've watched poets respond to the way that you respond to their work. And I'll be honest with you, I thought that when I said something, it meant something. But the way they respond when you say it, I know that, you know, it gives them a level of, you know how they say they level up? They level up 2-3 notches from what they thought they were at already. And it's the manner in how you give them what they need to have in that moment for that. Look at how DC Native responded to what you said. He took it in. He said, "Yup, you know what? You're right, and I can get with that." You know.
Now I appreciate that, but I'm saying I just hope people know that I'm giving them the best that I can, because I'm always trying to be the best that I can.
Yeah. 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 At the end of the day, what else could you ask for? If you're not striving for that, then what are you doing? I don't want to be the best writer in the world. I want to be the best writer I can be. That's it. I don't want to be better than you. I just want to be better than I was yesterday.
Exactly. I'm saying, hey, you know, and I have a poem in What If There Were No Titles. I don't know where it is, but it's talking about best. Say best and better. How do you just distinguish? No, the title of the poem is How Good Is Good. That should be the title of the poem. But it's talking about how good is good. So a lot of times people say, you know, that's good, but how good is good? Mm. Was that good that you said was good? Was that your best when you thought it was good, or was that just good?
Wow.
And I really think there's questions we need to ask ourselves sometimes. We got to ask ourselves the hard question before we actually send it to somebody else. Well, and if you don't know the answer, go to somebody and say, look, man, don't tell nobody. But I asked myself this shit and I didn't know. So can you help me find this? And I think a lot of times when we realize there's things that we don't know, we're more willing to learn something different.
Diamond said, "Tell Dr. AJ I'm giving him his flowers today." And Mandy Lion Hayes, Mandy Lion said, "What does that mean? What does it mean?" Gotta ask that. Absolutely, absolutely. And how? And what instruments are you using to measure good?
Ooh.
That in itself. What instruments are you using to measure good? Because in my mind, anything I write is good, but is it really good?
Mm-hmm.
You know, is it good enough? You know, because sometimes I write shit, I'll be like, you know what? And I ain't reading that to nobody. And then I come back 3 weeks later, and I'll be like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, you got something right there. You know.
You know, it was a lady the other day. She came on my live and she said, yeah, I'm just tearing pages out of my book, you know, because you know it's things. I said, look, never tear any page out of your book. I said, never blacken out a line in a poem, just put parentheses around and say omit. I said, because everything that you received it for a reason. It may not be today's poem. There may be all these absent lines and all these poems that you got to form a poem next week. I said, what it is we have to trust the process. That's why I asked everybody what the process is. Trust the process that you're going to get what's required to you to finish what it is you've started. As long as you have a follow through just to finish what you start.
You know, AJ,
it's going to work. It might not be you might not write a poem in a day, might not write a poem in a week, but just know that when it's time for that poem to be finished, you're going to wake up in the morning or 3 o'clock one morning and say, damn, that's that next line. And you already wrote it on something else.
I told my client today, I said, listen, when I tell you to edit your poem, don't destroy the original. Edit your poem on a whole nother sheet of paper. Because nobody said the original is wrong.
Yeah.
And then you end up losing so much when you do that, because you ain't gonna remember that shit if you're trying to get rid of it already.
Yeah. One, grown man speak. No. Well, what I do with my portrait, when I write the poem and I put a title to it, I save it. When I edit the poem the first time, I use the title 1. Then I might use 1A, 1B. So I have every version of the changed version of that poem on computer.
Wow.
So I can go back and see the original version or go back and see the first one. And I say, okay, I rearrange these lines, or maybe it sounds better the other way. So I'll pull that poem up and read it that way, or read it this way. Because a lot of times I don't think we write poetry. I think we build poems from pictures in our minds. We build poems out of the sound we want them to make. We build poems out of the frame or the picture we want them to hold, because if a picture is worth 1,000 words, your poem should be worth 1,000 pictures.
Yeah. I gotta put that in. We build poems from the pictures in our minds. I gotta type that down.
And we just want the words to match. It's like a mirror. You put the picture in your mind up and you read the poem, and you have to close your eyes and see if they match.
That's part of what really prompted my last ideas for creative writing workshops that I've been doing. And the idea of that, man, I can't wait till they tell me about this position so I can start moving on to the next phase. I already got things in the works. But AJ, when I pull you in on this one right here, y'all gonna understand what I'm talking about. And it is a major move. But it's going back to what we got to do. We got to leave it for these people that's coming behind us. We got to leave it for the people in the rear. Because if we don't, by the time they get where we at, they really going to be lost. Because ain't nobody talking. We the only ones talking now. You got poets and politicians. Everybody else is wiped out. Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about it. Everybody else is wiped out. In fact, if you look online, if you look on all the lives you see now, I don't give a damn who you follow. The entertainers, they're not entertaining on live. They doing talk shows.
Oh yeah.
Only ones performing now is poets and DJs. The comedians are not even doing comedy like that. They doing talk shows.
Yeah.
So right now, only thing you got is poets and damn politicians. That's it. Who you banking on? Because I know which one is full of shit for sure. I know that right now.
Well, I always tell people, if you want to know the duty of a writer, you have to look back in history. The king used to bring the jesters to the court, and everybody loved the jesters. But right after he sent for the jester to come to the court, he sent the soldiers out to find the poet on the corner because he don't want nobody there telling the truth on it.
Nobody.
So if we're not out here telling the truth to power, truth in politics, truth in these political positions, or truth in even our own community, we got to understand that we got to be willing to change ourselves if we're doing wrong. We got to be willing to accept blame if we've done something unjust or unjust. So every now and then we have to check ourselves, like what Cube say, check yourself before you wreck yourself, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, he should have took his own damn advice with that dumb shit he said when it came to... my bad, AJ, my bad. Go ahead.
But it slipped out. I'm better now. I'm better. No, but the point is like we really have to hold ourselves accountable to what we do, what we've done, and what we're projecting other people do in the name of what we believe.
Yeah. Totally.
Man, but I'm gonna tell you, John, man, you are so awesome to hang out with, man. You really are, man. You
are too, bro. Like this is having this 1-2 punch is amazing, and it's just the beginning of what is to come. And the platform, the way it's already starting to level out, I cannot wait. So I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate it too, because I'm thinking, like one week we need to come over here and just start off with a writing prompt. Or let's not call them writing prompts on our show. Let's call them living prompts.
And we can do like, okay, we're gonna do a 5-minute writing session, and then you go on live and do your let's see what you did in 5 minutes and see what you came up with.
Exactly.
I like that.
They call them living prompts because I don't want you to write on it. I want you to live in it.
Live in it. Yeah. Ode to living. That's right, Mandalorian. Ode to living. Yes. I love it.
But I like an ode to anything, man. I like an ode to anything because that's fire to me. Because an ode to something is like I'm not just paying homage to it. I'm paying reverence. It's like part of my religion. It's old song that I'm singing.
Yeah.
Because somebody asked me something about Harriet, and I told him, I said, man, I don't know if I could make one 800-mile trip walking.
Hell,
on purpose. I'm saying I don't know if I can make it on purpose. But I was explaining how hard.
Let's talk about an 8-mile. Damn, 100.
No, but I was telling them how hard it was for people to understand that. Oh yeah, I want some free. I want some free. So come get me. And say, well, 800 miles. He said, well, Mass ain't really that bad. I'm saying he might be me that, but he ain't that bad. He ain't 800 miles bad.
And that's just one 800. That's about 800 back and the 800 back again.
Yeah, he ain't 800 miles bad. I'm just trying to say, Mass ain't 800 miles bad. I'm good.
Man, I got so many old poems, ode to this, ode to that, man. That once you say ode to something, it changes the whole dynamics. Oh shit, here it comes.
Yeah, it does.
I got a funny. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read one. I'm getting ready to go eat in a minute anyway, but I'm gonna read an ode. Let me pull up this ode. I got a funny one that I want to read since we're here.
Okay.
A funny one. I like this poem because it's funny. That's why I really like it, because it's funny. An ode to the morning. When my car decides to release fluids for no reason at all. And it's too damn cold to stand outside pretending I know how to fix it. Especially when I'd rather be sitting with a warm blanket and a hot cup of coffee in my right hand. And my favorite poet blasting through the speakers in my living room, but instead I'm sitting here out of my mind in some sort of way, on some unknown space that feels so familiar. And all I want to know is, what in the hell is happening to my car? Why is she sick and needing so much attention today? I wish I could band-aid you back to perfect, but I cannot. Instead, I'm going to pray to the Almighty God of all things for help, and pray that God's only asking me to spend a little bit of change to make things new again. What do you know? The only saving grace is this poem. Again, saving another life, because I don't know what else to do with mine. At least not in this very moment. So instead, I'll just write these words down. Hope they sound good enough for someone to hit the like button on Instagram. Pretend that they enjoy hearing my morning voice babbling about how much I hate this damn cold weather. And I wish it was summertime again. I wish summertime never ends after it returns back to us again. And I have to prepare to spit some poems at a high school today. And I hope that this moves someone enough that they're going to add some funding to their budget, because they need more money. And I hope that these students decide to keep on writing and spend ample time creating a new future through these words and verses that mean more than just turn up trap music. You see, there's a bit of sweet to this all, because just like them, I used to have a love for a music that the old folks didn't like, because they didn't understand what was going on. And here we are again, not understanding what the hell is going on again. And now we are the old folks, and this music is nothing we can understand. But I know we is too many people, right? So I can only speak for myself, and I totally don't understand any of this new music that these young folks are listening to, but for whatever it's worth, I can admit that I've tried and I failed, because I can't get past the sounds, and that storm sounds like I need shelter. So running sounds like it's safe. It's the safest thing to do, and at least it is for me. But today, while this cold is making me want to stay inside, or at least find a way to a bubble bath or some sweet whispers from my favorite voice, today I'm asking for my troubles to find a watering hole of magic. I'm praying that this magic is waiting for me at the beginning of the rainbow, because I can't wait to the end. Because I don't want to wait there until the end comes and the other side, and there's nothing left but upside down smiles and happy tears that not have a place to become home again today and today and today. As I give you this ode to my morning, I'm thankful that God is shining the sun as bright as it is, because things could be a whole lot worse. So ode to this morning.
Now check this out. Before I say something about that, what's up, Devin? What's up, Hard Flicker? Fat Swagger Bastard. What's up, man? Appreciate y'all coming through. Today we're doing a new thing. It's called 10 Times Now, a show with myself and Coach Josh Smalls, who's right now is on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So if you follow him now. If you don't follow him. I seen my name mentioned a few times. Yeah, we're gonna mention you a few times, Azar King. Yeah, we're gonna do that every day. I mention your name. I mention your name in my sleep. Don't worry about it. I mention your name in my sleep. Yeah, I do. But anyway, we're doing the show 10 times now with me and Coach Josh. Azar, man, I love you, man, for sure. But he just read this poem, Ode to Mornings. But what I heard is this morning I'm praying to the God of automobile and seasons. God of automobiles and seasons, because I don't know what's going on with this car, but I'm gonna need you to lay some hands on it or something. I'm gonna need you to suck this cold weather back up. We need some warmth out here. No, just and how old folks used to talk about the music that you like, and then they didn't understand. But Daybreak, I got it, Azar King. Love you too, bro. No, it's love to music we didn't like. Love for music. They didn't like. The old folks used to tell us that, but now you say we getting old. But I like you say running sounds like the safest thing to do. But see, I don't think I'm saying the juxtaposition of running and sounds. Running is an action and sound is an action, but they're not the same action.
Not the same action. No.
But see, when running sounds like something, it's like I'm in tune to my feet, and that makes me safe.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And that and the watering hole of magic ain't shit to say about that though. I need to find one of them. Now, if you say running sounds, and I'm like, that's two completely distinctive motions. Because sounds doesn't require you to move, and running can only be done when you're moving.
Only be done when you're moving.
And now you got the unmovable and the moving synchronizes, though that's what safe is.
That's what safe is. Ain't that something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's fly, man.
Man.
That's fly.
And that really I'm trying to remember what was happening with my car, but that I went out there and I was in that cold and I had that hood up and I'm sitting here like, fool, is freezing out here and you don't know what the hell you're doing. Get your ass back at the house. And I came inside, I washed my damn hands, I sat down, and as I sat down, I went and started writing that damn poem.
But say, this prayer is to the God of automobiles and seasons. I need you to do 2 things for me today. And both of them is in this prayer. I need you to fix this automobile and fix this season.
and fix it now, please, Lord.
Yeah. I got somewhere to go.
And I had to get to the school, man, because those kids, one of the high schools that we were going in, they were needing funding for their programming, and they wanted us to be there to do some poetry for them to kind of help them see that they got numbers. And the students, everybody came to school that day. They showed up, and we were able to go inside, and they had gotten some funding, so that was good. That was good. I actually read that poem there.
Now, but check it out. See, the coolest thing is, that's why I say we're not giving writing prompts. We're giving living prompts.
Living prompts.
And we're giving living prompts because it's the things that you go through when you hadn't planned on going through anything.
Yeah. IG, my battery.
I know Azar King know what that means.
IG, my battery is dying, so I'm gonna hang up so I can make sure that I can post this. But come every Thursday, I know what it is. We're gonna be every Thursday. Me and AJ. Go on
Every
AJ.
Thursday, 10 times now.
He's on AJ Houston right now. Go on his page. He's on live on his line. So follow him, AJ Houston. It should be easy.
AJ Word Arts on Instagram. AJ Word Arts on Instagram.
AJ Word Arts on Instagram. That's right. And I'll plug my phone in, but if it's plugged in, it's gonna be laying down. I'm not gonna be having y'all look at the ceiling. So come on YouTube or go on Facebook. I got you, and we'll finish up. And if not, I'll see y'all in the morning. You know what time it is? Coffee time with Coach. I'll see y'all in a minute. Peace and love. Yeah, because that battery dying. I don't do that looking up at the ceiling thing. That ain't gonna be a good thing for me.
Oh yeah, no, I got you, man. I understand. Cause man, but I'm gonna tell you, man, that piece, man, is, and see, I think listeners need to understand that a lot of times when you build a poem, it's like I'm walking on this bridge and I don't know how far my pen can build these rails or build this walkway, but we're gonna see if we can't make it to the other side.
We're gonna try. Yeah.
And we building things, because when you start a poem, you don't know where it's going. You don't know, you might say, well, this idea might go here, but when you get to the end, it's not where you thought it was going. And I think that's the glory of writing. That's the glory of understanding that I don't know where this gift comes from. I just know it's a gift.
Yeah. And
I don't know how this gift worked, but I must have got it at a magic watering hole somewhere. I must have found it.
And I'm gonna hold on to it too. You better believe that.
Yeah, and a magic watering hole. I can't tell you where it is. You got to find the same rainbow that I walked across.
I'm gonna post.
Man, but I appreciate it. What's up, Devin? What's up, Cole, man? I good to see you, brother Cole, man. I've been missing you, man. I've been missing you. Okay, brother Mike, what up? Devin, what's up? Well, I'm talking to Coach Ja. He's on right now. He's still on Instagram, or he's just on Facebook.
That's on Facebook and Facebook
and YouTube.
Yeah.
Facebook and YouTube, Coach Josh Smalls, follow him on either one of those, and he's on StreamYard. So we're doing this new show called 10 Times Now. And 10 Times Now means that every moment that we've experienced these days is 10 times more important than we know. So we need to all come together and understand it. We need to have these conversations, that these uncomfortable conversations, these conversations that talk about things that we don't, it's like we don't talk about shit away from family. We try to keep these family secrets. So shit, we all family. So we finna talk about these family secrets.
Let's talk about them and figure out how we can address them so that we can stop, because hiding it, you're still living this shit.
Yeah.
You know, you're still living it. And we gotta figure out how to stop having to hide from it and address it and fix it. You know. And
now, brother Mike say, I've been sharing time with Ja. Now I'm over here with you. So yeah, let's get it. Based on the conversation John had, this is Emmanuel. Based on the conversation John and I had yesterday, I wrote a poem while I was in the pain of hearing my mother-in-law struggle to breathe. Hardest set of words I ever wrote. Man, my prayers go out for you and your family, man. Yeah, I know you was going through something, but my thing is, I'm here for you if you need me. So I'll be here when you need me.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I don't need to know what you're going through. I just know you're going through something, but I got you either way, on the in or on the out.
Yeah. And thank you, Emmanuel, for taking my suggestion. And I'm hoping that it helped you. And that's the only reason why I suggested it. I'm hoping that it has been helpful for you. Yeah. Yeah. Man, but that's it, man. That's why we have this platform. Because sometimes we need somebody to tell us what other options we have, because we may not know.
Oh yes, and I'm saying, but the thing is to have somebody trust your sound, to use their feet to follow your words.
How about that? How about that? Man.
Yeah, because not everybody want to put in emotion to move beyond where you told them to go. Because a lot of times, you know, because I think biblically, what people don't understand is when they say that they escaped and they went, you know, Mary, Joseph, and Jesus escaped, but they went to Africa. So I keep trying to tell people that 3 white people ain't finna hide amongst the people in Kemet in Africa. It's just hard to hide 3 white people there if somebody looking for 3 white people. So I'm just saying they couldn't have been the white people that Michelangelo, you know, or whoever painted these pictures.
Yeah,
couldn't have been the white Jesus that they got hanging up in the church.
First of all, how the hell long did they walk to get to where some black people's at anyway?
But see, that's why Moses is so important. They call her Moses because she knew. See, my cousin Harriet got hit in the head, right, long time ago. So that means she probably had a speaking impediment. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Moses. When Moses approached the burning bush, he stuttered a lot. He said, you know, you want my brother. Yeah. We said, no. So when Harriet understood that her job was the same as Moses and she was finna lead some people some places, a lot of times we listen and look at what the person looked like and what the person sound like to decide if we want to follow them. We don't know what their feet move like.
That's right.
So just to understand that Moses and Harriet had the same concept, had the same followers, did the same thing. So here we are, poets, trying to find our way through this troubled land with these pens and these pages. So who we gonna follow?
Who we gonna follow? Come on. Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, Edgy, we got an hour before you going on, so I'm gonna eat before you go on.
Oh yeah, I'm eating too. I was snacking a little bit, but yeah, I had some food here. I gotta go heat it up and eat.
We definitely got to do that part, you know. And how long are you gonna be on it? Because you're like doing like a feature or something.
But no, I'm gonna be on probably 10 minutes, 15. So it's not gonna be long. I'm going there and talk about some things and talk about what we talk about, you know, supporting other poets and buying product from poets, and some of the poets that I suggested they buy product from, like you and Mr. Witts and Marianne Peterson and Beach City and all these people that have books that need our support. I'm saying the holidays coming up, man. We got ports that are struggling. Government don't want to do nothing, but we don't really need the government if we do what we're supposed to do in the circles that we're in.
We don't need it.
That's what I'm saying. We can circulate these dollars and make everybody say, buy black. Damn, I think I'm black. I think you black. I think Brother Mike black. I'm saying I think Dogman Blues black. I think we black. So aren't they telling us to buy us? To buy each other?
Buy each other. Yeah.
So let's do what we're supposed to do and support one another and be about it. So because if I circulate my dollars with you and you circulate your dollars with him and he come back and circulate his dollars with me, we are building a better community. We're helping families. We're supporting people. We're feeding mouths and families and children, and we're doing all these things, keeping lights on, and making sure that it's getting cold even in Vegas. I think yesterday it was like 37 degrees in the morning. I had to get them turn the heat on. I'm like, man, I can't walk in a cold house, man. I can't do it.
That's how it is here. It's going down to 30s and 28s and stuff. That's why I'm glad I revisited that poem to remind me. I have to make sure I got to get out there in the morning.
To God of automobiles and seasons, I need you to come right now. That's fine. But Dog Man, I'm saying Minnesota Girl, I'm saying Daybreak, everybody that came through, man, I really appreciate y'all, man. Much love. Make sure you follow Coach Josh Smalls on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. I'm rebuilding my YouTube page anyway. Thank you, Devin, for coming through, man. We just say if I bring you in, he can't hear you, so the people he listens to can't hear. So we're gonna refine this process and make it work better. Right. But I think Diamond Hood, Grown, what up? What up? Thank you for coming, man. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the comments. I appreciate everybody, man, because the only way we're gonna build this better is that we build it together.
Build it together.
So, yeah. So thank everybody for coming through. John, man, I love you, man. I appreciate you for sure, man.
I love you too, brother, man. I really, really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see the magic that's going to stem from what we're doing. And, we got some ideas we can work out. We got a whole new thing we can go through and check out some things and see how we want some things to go. But the way it's going is perfect. And then once we get the people participating the way we need them to, it'll be great. And everybody that's on, it's on YouTube. So go share it so other people know and see, because they might want to come and just listen. Yeah,
definitely. Like you said, it's Coach Josh Smalls on YouTube. It's posted. Go check it out. Go review it. Go see it, man. It's awesome, man. Thank you for the comments. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank y'all so much. We really appreciate it. Without y'all, this ain't even possible. So we thank y'all for that. Yeah, AJ, man, go get you something to eat. I'll see you in about an hour and 10 minutes or so. Whenever you coming on with my man, I'm following him, so I know I'll see when he get on live.
Okay. So appreciate it.
And yeah, man, let's do it. I'm gonna send you this so you can have it. You can go and look at it.
Okay, I'll do that for sure.
All right, man. I love you, brother. I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, in a minute.
All right, peace and love, y'all. See y'all next week.